Welcome to the stream, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. We're going to be live on the radio in about 90 seconds. And, of course, we'll be taking calls today. I'm going to start with this arrest of this arsonist in Los Angeles. And we'll talk about that a little bit in the beginning. And then I'm going to move into everything Trump, because we are 10 days until the return of the greatest president ever. We have less than 1 minute until showtime. So stand by. And again, if you're new, make sure you subscribe. I am rested and caffeinated. I was off yesterday. And countdown has begun. Oh, man. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, yeah, there was a lot going on with President Trump yesterday. And, of course, it is open phones. It is Friday, open MAGA mic Friday. Anything and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's program. All right, here we go. 15 seconds. Stand by. Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years on the radio. And 48 years, that's about how many degrees it is outside right now here in sunny South Florida. I got to tell you, we dip below 50 degrees, and oh man, it's icicle time. I mean, this is a cold wave. This is it. This is like Florida, or at least South Florida, blizzard-like conditions when we dip under 50 degrees. Welcome, everyone. We've got a lot to cover. We are back here live today on this Friday. We were not here live yesterday, but we are live this morning. There's some major updates on the LA fires, which I'm going to cover. They arrested an arsonist, a suspected arsonist, and there's been a lot of happenings with President Trump in the last 24 hours. So we're going to cover a lot, and of course today is Friday, which means open phones. We call it Open MAGA Mic Friday. And on Open MAGA Mic Friday, you're welcome to call in about any and everything on your mind, not just the topics that we bring up. And yeah, let me double check the temperature right now. Let me see here. It is really cold, I got to tell you. It is 49 degrees right here at the studio, 49 degrees. But it could be colder where you are. Oh, boy, I tell you, this is not why we live in Florida. But no, we call Friday Open MAGA Mic Friday. Any and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. The show prep is up to you guys. You're not limited to the topics we bring up. However, I do have a lot to bring up, and hopefully you'll find some of the things I bring up of interest. Okay, now I want to get into this first. Before we get into everything Trump, I want to talk about this arsonist arrest out in California. Los Angeles arsonist is arrested for starting the Kenneth fire. That's in Calabasas, where all the celebrities live. Let's go through this. This is the latest update. The Kenneth fire is tearing through the West Hills at a rapid rate, with 900 exhausted first responders pulled from other high-priority infernos in Southern California to protect the homes and try to contain the fires. Yeah, of course, they have to deploy all resources to where the celebrities are, because I guess celebrities are more important than regular people. The death toll has reached 10. Sadly, it's amazing that it's not higher, but that's still 10 too many. The LAPD say that they have a suspect in custody who is believed to have intentionally caused the Kenneth fire. Now, this is the one where, again, where all the celebrities live. About 20 or 30 minutes later, a suspect was detained in the Woodland Hills area by citizens being investigated as well. The officer was asked directly if he believed the fire was set intentionally, and he said at this time, that's what we believe. A resident called 911 to report a male attempting to set a fire. Oh, my goodness. The suspect was arrested, taken into custody. The LAPD says we cannot confirm any connection to any fires at this time. Yeah, but they've arrested him with, suspicion of starting the fires in the celebrity. The suspect is a homeless man in his 30s, according to the New York Post. The alleged arsonist arrest has confirmed Hollywood A-listers' worst fears that their homes are being targeted. And it goes on about that. No word on whether or not he's a U.S. citizen or not, but he is homeless. We'll get more information on him as it goes on. But, there's so much to discuss about this, and we're going to cover it, and we'll talk about what's going on in L.A. When we were talking about this the day before yesterday, because we weren't live yesterday, and by the way, I did not go to Los Angeles. I am in frigid South Florida right now. I did not go to Los Angeles, but I was going to go as late as yesterday morning. Around this time, I was still thinking of going yesterday, but my daughter is safe and away from the troubles, and I'm going to be going out to Los Angeles in a couple of weeks to visit my daughter, and depending on what the conditions are, I'll go and survey some of the areas that were hit by the fires. But the day before yesterday, I was talking to a caller about this. Here in Florida, we have fires in the Everglades all the time, but most of the time you don't know about it because nobody lives in the Everglades and they're pretty far away. But sometimes you can smell it, sometimes you can see it, and I've seen some pretty big and wild fires out west in South Florida in the Everglades many times throughout my life. But most of the time when there's a fire in the Everglades, it's caused by a lightning strike. And, you get a cause. They cause lightning strikes during drought periods. It's dry, so, things combust, and that happens. And what I was talking about on Wednesday with this fire in California, we didn't have a cause, and everyone was suspecting arson. And now we have an arsonist in custody. And I saw some video on X yesterday of some people that looked like they were pouring gasoline out of gasoline jugs onto a fire. Did any of you see this online? I mean, what's going on out there is crazy. But, of course, it looks like the apocalypse. I mean, I was watching some of the aerial video of this celebrity area yesterday, and it looked like, although in full color and in, by the way, if you're on hold, stand by. I will go to the calls after the first break. But I was looking, although it was in 4K and in high definition, it reminded me of Nagasaki, where everything is rubble except for the roads. And it's just awful. And all this talk about DEI and who's responsible, obviously the DEI has a lot to do with what's going on in Los Angeles. You have an incompetent fire chief who is another check off a box, the first LGBTQ plus lesbian fire chief, and she has a staff of people underneath her who are the same, and even the person in charge of the water, which is not available in the fire hydrants, is part of that crowd as well. And, you might say, well, this is the end of DEI. Didn't earn it. And a lot of people are on television, and they're rightly so upset. They've lost everything. They've lost their homes. The insurance company had canceled people out there before the fires and everything. So a lot of these people, not everybody out there is a multimillionaire. There's a lot of people that are losing everything and may never recover from it financially because of the insurance and everything else, plus just the loss of all their personal goods. But when things calm down, will Southern California say, oh, this DEI is terrible? I don't think so. They're not all going to get red-pilled out there. On Wednesday, I was talking to John Cryer, was talking about transgender issues with Bill Maher, right? So, no, when it settles, they'll still support this DEI nonsense. All right, well, listen, if you're on hold, hang in there. It is Friday. We're going to take our first break of this Open MAGA Mike Friday. Our number is toll-free, 1-888-465-2631. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 years this year on the radio. We'll be right back. All right, and we are out. So I'm obviously at my home studio today, and I'll be here all day. Welcome, everyone. If you are new, make sure that you subscribe, all right? I'd appreciate that. And we've got a lot to cover today. I mean, you miss one day like I did, and there's so much to cover. It's insane. 10 days till Trump. That's right. 10 days until President Trump is back. Can you believe? 10 days. It's amazing. The way they were treating President Trump at the Jimmy Carter funeral, we'll talk about that too. Okay. So if you're just wondering, Mike, the board op, he's at the radio station in the, we got less than a minute, we'll be back. He's at the radio station standing, not where he normally is in the control room. He's in the studio where I would normally be, and he's running everything up there. And we got an incredible new thing, new item to promote from My Pillow, which I'm going to get to in just a bit. Okay, 1524. So we've got 24 seconds until we are back. If you're new, my name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. All right. Stand by. Need a little coffee. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. We are back here live on this Open MAGA Mike Friday. Our number 1-888-465-2631. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. Can you hear me?
I can hear you fine. What's on your mind?
Great. Good morning, Danielle calling from Michigan.
Hey, Danielle.
First and foremost, thank God your daughter is okay.
Oh, yes.
I just want to say the love that you have for your daughter and your family shows right through the TV screen. You're amazing.
Well, thank you.
Couple comments real quick. Yeah, it's a busy week, a lot going on. What's your thought? You think Trump's going to show up today? I'm just curious. Is he going to show up in the courtroom? Because if he does, he's going to be able to talk unlimited. And I'm just wondering about that. And the other thing that's really kind of, there's so much to talk about, but I'm really kind of interested in Fetterman also. Pretty soon going down to talk to
well,
Trump.
Okay, I'll talk about
your thoughts.
Well, I'll tell you first about Trump. They said, the Judge Mershon said it's going to be virtual. So for President Trump to go to New York, it wouldn't be a secret. It would shut down the city. And it's at 9:30 this morning, so he would be shutting down the city of New York during rush hour because the hearing's at 9:30. So if he's going to be there, everyone will know it because of everything that has to go into the security. And I'm going to play some audio later. He had a thing with governors yesterday. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on one second. Hold on there. He had a meeting with governors yesterday. He took some questions about it. He didn't seem worried at all or concerned about the hearing. They just want to be able to call him a convicted felon. The judge said there's not going to be any
Correct.
jail time or probation. I don't even know what the purpose of a sentencing is if you're not going to sentence them to anything. They just want to be able to get in the history books that he is a convicted felon, which is, these are disgusting people. I mean, look at how George W. Bush was yesterday. George W. Bush didn't even greet the president. He's a monster,
I know.
a war criminal. How many people are dead? And have every time you turn on a Tunnel to Tower, a Wounded Warriors commercial, and you see a guy missing limbs or his body's been melted, George W. Bush, who was passing moral judgment on President Trump yesterday, his lies about WMDs did that.
No, I know. I realize that. It's a shame what they're trying to do, but it's okay because I voted for him, and you know what? They can try anything they want. It's not going to work.
We all know what it is, BS. Now the thing about Fetterman you asked about, Fetterman's going to Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah.
Fetterman is doing this and for two reasons, right? One, Pennsylvania's gone so red. He's becoming a little more conservative because, he's worried about his political future. But the other thing is, don't trust Fetterman, no matter how reasonable he sounds. Fetterman is gearing up to run for president for the Democrats in 28. And in fact, Steve Kane, months ago, he likes to bet on things in England and everything on election. And he wanted to put a bet down that Fetterman would get the nomination for the Democrats in 4 years. So I agree with Steve on that. He's setting the stage to run for president in 2028. So don't trust. The more reasonable Fetterman sounds, the less you should trust him.
Very good. Okay, good to know. Yeah,
I mean, that's just my thoughts.
There's so much going on.
Mm-hmm. All right, take care.
No, I agree. That's interesting. Thanks. Bye.
All right, take care. Yeah. I mean, come on. You cannot trust Fetterman. But hey, you can trust Fetterman to be Fetterman. So Trump bringing Fetterman to Mar-a-Lago is smart. Fetterman is going to end up voting in favor of some Trump things, like the confirmation of some of the cabinet members. All right, let's go. You're on the air. Hold on there. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Montana Mark.
Hey, Mark, what's up?
The thing that's frustrating is people don't know how smart Trump is.
Oh, yeah.
Because last year, I think it was at his California golf resort, he gave a press release and he was talking about all the wasted water up in California. And he talked about the millions of gallons of the snow melt off.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually said having a golf course, you have to know where to get the water. And
that's right.
He studied the water problem out in California quite a bit. And he even brought up some solutions. But he said a long time ago that he believed that you have to clear all the dead trees and fallen dried trees out of the forest to control the fires.
Well, here in Florida, this affects Florida, but we're smart. Okay, when we have hurricanes in Florida, tremendous numbers of trees fall down, and I remember a hurricane we had, I don't know, close to 10 years ago now. I had two 50-foot ficus trees in my backyard. Lost both of them in the hurricane. This is about 10 years ago. And, I had to hire somebody to come out and chop them up and everything. And they had them on the swale in front of my house, as everybody else in the neighborhood and throughout all of Florida. And it takes a while for the garbage collectors to come and collect all the debris of the chopped up trees after hurricanes. And sometimes it becomes a real concern that it could, because the hurricane's gone, there's no rain, it's hot, it's dry, the wood's drying out, and it could cause fires. And what smart people do is you go and hose down the debris in your front yard, right? So it doesn't catch on fire. But in California, they got all these crazy ideas, right? Like diverting the water for some, I don't know, what are they diverting the water for? Some fish? Some fish?
Yeah.
So and they don't have, water flows down, rivers flow down, right? They don't have enough water pressure for the fire hydrants. And I mean, that mayor and those fire chiefs should be fired. And, they're already blaming global warming for the problem isn't global warming. It's liberalism.
Here in Montana, we've had some really bad fires, and the state of Montana tell people if you build houses in the mountains, you have to clean up all the tinder brush and clean up the dead wood.
Yeah. Yeah, but in California, where you have all these tree huggers and animal rights lunatics, they say things to themselves like, well, underneath all that brush, there could be some microscopic creature, and we don't want that microscopic creature to go extinct. So we have to keep all this kindling around. I mean, they're just stupid out there. Liberalism is stupid. It's just stupid.
I know. President Trump just says we just think common sense.
That's right. Mm-hmm. That's right.
Thank you.
All right, Mark, you take it.
Show.
All right, well, I thank you for your call. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. Let's just say I'm north of Green Bay, Wisconsin.
Hey.
And it's me.
All right. North of Green Bay, Wisconsin. Okay.
Yeah. I just had this crazy idea. I mean, probably too far-fetched for you. But anyways, do you think that maybe President Trump will get some jail time just to see if they could create another January 6th?
The judge said no jail time, no probation. He announced it already.
But they've been on the line.
No. Well, he could lie. No. Why would there be another January 6th? Why, Nancy Pelosi going to organize something again? I mean, why would there be another January 6th? If Trump got jail time, MAGA doesn't do anything. We didn't do anything on January 6th. I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
You don't think the Democrat? Okay. I was just wondering.
They just want. Listen, what they. By the way, thanks for the call. What they want to do is be able to call him a convicted felon for the rest of his life. They want the official historical record that he is a convicted felon. And at 9:30 today, they may get that. All right? They just might get that. Now, I want to tell you guys about the incredible free doorbell camera offer from Slomin's. Oh, man. If you don't have this doorbell camera already, you need to get it. It will change your life. You will love it. I promise you. Slomin's is going to give you a free doorbell camera that connects directly to your cell phone with the installation of your Slomin's Shield. They're also, I know, it's a pretty good deal, huh? They're also going to give you a free customized home security system and professional installation when you use their low-cost central station monitoring. They're going to give you an LED touchscreen, a motion detector, 10 contacts for your doors and windows, a lifetime warranty, a backup battery, and a free doorbell camera with the installation of your Slomin's Shield. And remember these videos we saw in Colorado of the illegal Venezuelan gangs terrorizing people in that apartment building? That was taken from a doorbell camera. Blew me away when I found. That's how good these cameras are. Give them a call. Get your free doorbell camera, all right? 1-833-283-5050. 1-833-283-5050. That's 1-833-283-5050. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian Craig. We're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. It is Open MAGA Mike Friday. Open phones. Any and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. Friday's show prep is up to you. We'll take our break and be right back. All right, we're out. If you're on hold, stand by. If you are new to the channel, my name is Brian Craig. This is where MAGA comes to talk. Make sure you subscribe. I broadcast on a whole bunch of FM radio stations live in the morning. I'm live on the... We're in a commercial break now from the radio, but we're live on the air on a whole bunch of radio stations. And when we're on the air, I live stream here on YouTube. And the calls you're hearing, some are listening on the radio, some are watching on YouTube, some are listening on iHeartRadio or somewhere else online. So, if you'd like to call in, the number is pinned in the live chat. And I'm going to start talking about this today. This is amazing, but I'll give you guys a little sneak peek. Mike Lindell at MyPillow is now offering at an incredible discount the actual cross that he wears. You ever see Mike Lindell's always wearing that cross? He's offering it now at a huge discount. See, there it is on his shirt. And yeah, I know. It's normally $239.98, and it's just $199.98 now with our promo code Kane at checkout. Wow, that's an amazing deal. You save $40 off the My Cross with our promo code Kane at checkout. That is an incredible deal. And, yeah, I would definitely take advantage of that. And remember, free shipping on orders over $75. So you get that cross for $40 off, the Mike Lindell cross. And it's also free shipping. So I'll talk to my wife about that. I don't know. She might like that. I think I'd like to have it myself. Great price. So go to MyPillow.com. Use our promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at checkout. And order your My Cross. That's a good deal. I'm going to announce it on the radio later in the hour. Okay, we will be back in 3 minutes. 3 minutes till we're back on the radio. Melania looked fabulous. Yeah, she did look fabulous. You know, yesterday was the 1 year anniversary of her mother. I don't know if it was her mother's passing or her mother's funeral. That's why she was looking so sad. But Bush was a jerk, wasn't he? Just a jerk to President Trump. And Pence's wife, what a monster. What a monster she is. What disrespect. If you're on hold, hang in there. But, and Biden, I'm going to talk about this later on the show. Biden's whole eulogy was attacking Trump. Talking about integrity and all this stuff. He didn't have any personal anecdotes about President Carter. And then I forgot the guy's name. I'm assuming he was Jimmy Carter's UN ambassador that came up, and he told some interesting stories about President Carter. It was Biden's just a sicko. You know, though, who I saw I couldn't believe was Dan Quayle and his wife. I couldn't believe how old they'd gotten. I've not seen Dan Quayle and his wife in ages. When I get to the sound bites later, I'll play the clip of President Trump talking to Ducey about the buddying up to Obama. Welcome. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. And if you're already subbed, do me the favor of liking the video. Okay, just over a minute, and we'll be back on the radio. Well, there was the woman next to Al Gore, and I was like, look at that. I thought it was Tipper Gore. I told her, I said, look at Tipper Gore. And she says, that no, they got divorced. I said, you know what? I forgot that Al Gore and Tipper split. I'd forgotten about that. And all day I was like, who is that lady? And then I saw a news story online late in the day about it. I said, oh, that's Dan Quayle's wife. And then Dan Quayle next to her. Oh, my goodness. Marilyn Quayle, yeah. All right, 30 seconds. About. If you're on hold, hang in there. 30 seconds now, actually. we go. Stand by. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. All right, we got a lot to cover. We've only just scratched the surface, and it is Open MAGA Mike Friday, open phones on every Friday. We're back live, by the way. We were not here live yesterday. I did not go to California. I'm going to go in a couple of weeks, and after the inauguration, I'm going to head out to California to visit my daughter. All right, but it is Open MAGA Mike Friday, meaning any and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. The show prep is up to you all in our audience. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, hi, Brian. It's Roz. How are you?
Hey, Roz. What's up?
Two things. Is this going to be the new norm for you over here?
Oh, no, I'm not at the regular studio today is what you're talking about. No, sometimes.
Oh, okay. I thought that this was going to be permanent. Number two, what's going on with that lunatic judge? Because today's
which one?
Judge Merchan, the jerk.
Oh, he's going to sentence President Trump at 9:30 this morning. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
No.
President Trump, he has to show up?
Yeah. Amy Coney Barrett, Amy Coney Barrett sided with the liberals and the Chief Justice yesterday, and he's getting sentenced today.
Are you kidding me?
No, 9:30.
How can you have the audacity to sentence a president?
They're monsters.
A president.
They're monsters.
I know, but a president is higher than a judge. He's playing with fire, this idiot.
Well, we have, what he's doing, he's not playing with anything. The only thing he's playing with is his freedom, because this, Pam Bondi's going to investigate this. And, if Pam Bondi gets on and she's not going to bring in some special counsel that's going to spend 2 or 3 years and come back with nothing.
No.
She's going to get to the bottom of it. And, we all know that the judge's daughter raised over $100 million from Democrats during all this on the promise of Trump going to jail.
And she was bringing in all kinds of people in the courthouse.
Mm-hmm.
And he was taking money illegally. And
that's what could get him in trouble. So if it's proven by Attorney General Pam Bondi, he very well will be the one that goes to prison. Now, the judge said in advance that about the sentencing that there'll be no jail time and no probation.
I don't know. There's something crazy about this.
What's crazy about it is that listen, it's what I was talking about before the break. They want to be able, and this is what they're always about. They want to be able to call him a convicted felon, and that's that's it.
What? Amy Coney Barrett got elected because of him.
Well, she wasn't elected; she was appointed. She was appointed by President Trump.
Well, right, but for her to get the job and for her to turn around and stab him in the back.
Well, Amy, you got to remember, Amy Coney Barrett gave President Trump COVID at the White House when he announced her nomination for the Supreme Court. That may have been been the first assassination attempt.
Yeah.
So she gave him COVID, and he had it bad. So
I know.
We're lucky to have him
in the hospital and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember when I was crying. I was watching when I turned on the television, and I saw Marine One in front of the White House waiting to take President Trump to Walter Reed. I thought we were going to lose him. I was so upset. That was a tough day, and Amy Coney Barrett did that. So
Yeah, that's not right. I mean, I've cried many a times about this whole mess, and I've prayed like crazy.
Yeah.
And the day he won, and when his whole family and everybody got on that stage, I was crying as I was watching.
Oh yeah, it's amazing, Roz.
I was so happy about it. I get goosebumps.
Oh, yeah,
But,
me too.
You know, but I'm really disgusted by this judge and by all these crooks.
Well, you know what? You're not alone. We're all disgusted by the judge. Unless you're a Democrat. If you're a Democrat, you know, you want to make him a Supreme Court justice. This judge.
No.
This judge is a crook. Now, maybe he'll do the right thing today and toss out all. It's at 9:30. The judge was kind enough to wait until after I was off the air today to have this event. I appreciate that, but the judge. Maybe,
but you and Kathy will talk about it.
I will have a podcast. I will have a podcast today breaking down everything that happens. You know, when it happens, and you might see me live stream on YouTube later about it, guys. So you guys follow me on YouTube, but
yeah.
Maybe the judge will toss everything out. I doubt it.
If he's got any brains, he would.
But if he is on the take, and we don't know that he is for sure, it's been alleged, right? But if the $100 million that the daughter raised was for him, does he really have a choice? If you take the money, you got to do it. The people that pay you the money, they didn't give you that money for charity.
Right, but then when Pam Bondi gets involved, he's going to be sitting in jail with his money. What's he going to do with the money in jail?
Hire lawyers?
Buy himself snacks for people to protect him?
Yeah. Buy snacks and smokes and things like that. All right, Roz, take care. Thanks for the call. All right, back to our phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hi, Brian. It's Sandra from Boca. How are you?
All right, Sandra. What's up?
Oh, just calling about, the fires in California. And like Montana Mark, I kind of wanted to reiterate what he said, that Trump had very smart, gave a strict warning years ago about how dangerous it is out there. Literally, I'm seeing it from an aerial view right now, and you just don't recognize Los Angeles anymore. It is completely leveled. It's like there's nothing there.
It looks like to me. I said this at the top of the hour, but I'll say it looks like Hiroshima and Nagasaki after the bombs dropped.
Exactly.
Everything's wiped out. You just see roads.
Yes, exactly. And there's still that haze that's still like in the air, and it's just horrible.
Well, remember, DEI did this.
DEI?
DEI didn't earn it. Yeah, these DEI hires. They don't have whoever is it the water management person that's responsible for them not having water pressure in the fire department for the fire hydrants. Yeah. Another DEI hire. I mean, it's insane.
I saw a clip on TikTok where this woman confronted Governor Newsom, and he said to him, what are you going to do about what's happening here? What are you going to do about it? And he says, listen what he says. He says, I'm on the phone with President Biden.
Yeah, he pretended.
Really? Can I see that?
I'm going to play the audio in a minute. He pretended he was on the phone with Biden, and the lady said, I don't believe you. Show me. And then he says, well, I'm trying to get him, but I can't get cell reception here.
Exactly. I just thought that was very telling.
Well, if Newsom, if he were a normal person, which he's not, because he's insane. Look in his eyes. He's got the same look as Governor Whitmer. They're insane. If I were him in his position, I would come to LA and I'd be ticked off. I'd be angry at the mayor, at the fire department, at the water people. I'd be angry at everything that the people of my state are going through this because of their incompetence. And soon as this is, I would say, as soon as this is settled, I'm going to fire all of them. But he didn't do that. He comes in and sides with them, and they're talking about climate change and all this nonsense.
And then he says, we're going to be sending you resources to help you. It's like resources. There's no water in the fire hydrant, she said. So what are you talking about? It's like that was the most basic thing you were supposed to have prepared, and you couldn't even do that.
I don't know what's going on with the fire department out there in general. But my father is a disabled firefighter. He was a firefighter when I was a kid. He got hurt in a fire pretty bad. Firefighting is something I followed, and I have seen in my own neighborhood, on my own street, I don't know how often they do that, but regularly the firefighters come and check the fire hydrants to make sure they're operating. You ever see them do that? Mm-hmm. So there's no way, if they're properly maintaining the hydrants in LA, that they wouldn't know. But I imagine the firefighters themselves are DEI hires too. This is Southern California. It's not like the firefighters are MAGA conservatives. They're, but I did see I couldn't believe this, right? They got no water in the fire hydrants. I saw one story yesterday. The fire hydrant was painted with the rainbow colors, the gay rainbow flag colors. So, I mean, they make sure that the fire hydrants have the rainbow flag painted on them, but they don't check to make sure. They got some story today that are saying, well, there's been a rash of thieves that have been stealing fire hydrants, and that's the problem. What? Come on.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. As much, it is a tragedy, and it is. At the same time, it's like I heard that celebrities are putting up GoFundMes.
No one's gonna donate money to the celebrities, but I'll tell you, the celebrities aren't as rich as they used to be because they don't get residuals like they used to because of all the streaming. That's what some of these recent actor strikes were about, right? So a lot of these celebrities, like Harrison Ford, and the reason that he does terrible movies or speaks in favor of Kamala is they need the money. So a lot of these celebrities, they're not as rich as they used to be. But good luck with the celebrity GoFundMes. Good luck.
I have one other question before I leave you, or you leave me, I should say.
Yeah.
Yesterday, when you saw the state funeral with President Trump speaking to Obama, they seemed to be friendly. I mean, Trump looks like he was trying to get some points across to him because out of all the presidents, I don't know what it is about Obama, but he seems to be, I'm not saying he was a good president. I don't approve of that. I never liked President Obama, but he seems to be the most relatable out of the bunch.
For the most part, whoever the president is, they're charming. The reason they're charming is because they're professional politicians, and part of that is being charming and being able to sell their crap, right? So most of it's not true with Biden, it's not true with Kamala or Hillary, but they lost. But Bill Clinton's charming. Obama's charming. I mean, that's a gift that presidents have for the most part. At least because you have to be charming to get people to love, support, and vote for you. I wouldn't read too much into the pleasantries. I'm really curious as to what he said that made Obama laugh.
Me too. And Hillary was looking over there. I don't know if you've noticed, and she was really upset.
And Kamala was ticked off at Obama for talking to
I could tell.
Trump.
Me too. I could tell.
But no one was more angry than Pence's wife.
Her, I didn't notice. What was she doing?
She wouldn't stand up for the Trumps when they came in. She wouldn't talk to them. She wouldn't shake their hands. She was really nasty. President Bush wouldn't shake hands with President Trump either.
No,
nasty
I
man.
That.
Do you know that President Bush, who's responsible for all these murders with his WMDs, his wife Laura Bush was in a car accident when she was young and killed somebody.
I remember that.
And they're passing moral judgment on Donald Trump. Who do they? They're insane.
Yeah. They certainly are. Mm-hmm. And you can tell just kind of the way everybody was seated, this who's with who, and I don't know.
Well, they seat them in the order that they were in office.
Oh, okay.
That's how they do it. And then behind the presidents were the vice presidents and their wives. That's why I finally figured out that was Dan Quayle and his wife at the end.
If I had to give anything to Obama, at least he didn't act like a jerk. You know what I mean? Because he seemed to be in the conversation, like really in the conversation. It's like
he's the guy that instigated all of the spying and shenanigans against President Trump.
I know.
I mean, and think about it. Melania. I know it was the sad anniversary of the loss of her mother, but she, think about it. Melania is sitting there with the people that arrested her husband. She's sitting there with the people that broke into her home. Is she
I
sitting
know.
there with the people that are involved in the shooting of her husband? Come on.
Yeah. It's hard to stomach, isn't it?
All right, well, listen, appreciate the call.
All right. Have a good day.
All right, take care. If you're on hold, hang in there. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. I'm Brian Craig. We'll be right back. Welcome. If you're on hold, hang in there. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. And, of course, on Friday's show, it is always open phones. We call it Open MAGA Mic Friday on Friday. So on Friday's show, you can call in about any and everything on your mind. Okay. Just got a text from Mike telling me what time we're going to come back on the air, which is about 2 minutes. Exactly 2 minutes, actually, from now. We'll be back on the radio. So I got a lot of audio. Steve will be joining us later in the show. It is so cold. Alexa, what's the temperature?
Right now, it's 49 degrees Fahrenheit. Today, expect a high of 74 degrees.
Well, that's good. But right now, it's cold. It's cold. We're wimpy in Florida when it comes to the cold. Well, Melania, it was the 1 year anniversary. I'm not sure. It was either the 1 year anniversary of the passing of Melania's mother or her funeral. I can't remember which. So that's probably what was on Melania's mind. Plus, she's sitting around with these people that have just, been trying to destroy her husband and her family for the last 10 years, too. All right. Try 25. Now, that's why I live in Florida. When you live in Florida, I've lived in Florida since I was 11. So, this is Siberian weather for us here in Florida. All right. Stand by. 15 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. Don't forget, on Monday, the 20th, Inauguration Day, Steve Kane and I are inviting all of you to join us at Wings Plus to watch President Trump's inauguration. Oh, boy, I can't wait. This is the Sample Road location of Wings Plus in Coral Springs. The inauguration is at high noon. So Steve and I, when we get off the air, we're both going to head from our different spots that we're broadcasting from and head over to Wings Plus. And we'll be there as soon as they open. I'd recommend you try to get there by 11 if you can. The inauguration is at 12, and Wings Plus is filled with incredible television sets. And we'll be watching the inauguration. That's Monday, the 20th. And Wings Plus, the Sample Road location, is about 1 mile west of University Drive on the south side of Sample Road. All right, it is Open Phones on Friday, Open MAGA Mic Friday. Any and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's program. Our number, 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, this is Louise, the masked lady.
Hey, what's
from
up?
Boca.
Oh, it's cold, isn't it?
Brian,
Oh, man.
is this the new holding pattern?
What do you mean?
Oh, my.
Oh.
This.
Wait a
No?
minute. I'm trying to think. You've been calling the show for years, right? Years.
Yes.
Right? And I'm trying to think if there's been a single time, and I can't think of one, a single time where you've called that you haven't complained about something that I'm doing or have done or are connected to. You're like a very negative person.
No.
Yeah, you've never called in.
that-
You've never called in with anything, but you start. You're worse than Richie. You start
No,
every single call with some gripe about me.
No, not at all. Rick, I need to know. You mentioned the person that's been bothering me has nothing to do with politics. The person who passed away.
President
the
Carter?
listener. No, our listener.
Okay, the reason there's one of our listeners passed away, and I have not announced who it is yet. It's somebody who called on occasion, and the reason I have not is I want to get confirmation from their family. It's somebody that was scheduled to go on our cruise actually with us.
Yes, I
and
understand.
yeah, and I was sent an obituary. But I've gotten false death notices from people before, listeners before, and I was about to announce it, and then I was not able to confirm their passing. So I don't. But I'm like 80% sure, but I want to get confirmation before I announce it.
I just want to mention, yes, I it's been bothering me.
Well, there was this, the reason, one of our chronic callers, Lurch, who thankfully doesn't call in too much anymore. He's just one of the worst callers that's ever existed, and he has polluted the airwaves of every call-in show in the Miami radio market for decades. He's awful. And we got a call from a lady, an elderly lady like yourself, who was in tears one day, Steve and I, and she said she was Lurch's mother, and she knew his real first name, right? And she told us, which Steve and I know, Ken. And she said he passed away, he died, and she was crying and bawling like you couldn't believe. And I okay, we felt bad. And then about a year goes by, and he called us on the air. He never died. He didn't even, the lady punked us. So that's why I haven't announced it till I get confirmation. But when I do, I will, because it's not one of the super famous chronic lunatics, okay? But it's somebody that in fact, they mentioned my name in their obituary, which I've never had that happen before.
Well, you know who I think passed away? Augustino. I know he was ill.
Agostino? No, I think I've talked to Agostino. Listen, when you're the longest running radio show, we've outlived many listeners.
Yeah. But I want to mention about California.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any thought that it might have been arson?
Yeah, they arrested an arsonist yesterday.
Oh,
a homeless guy was arrested for arson in the celebrity neighborhood.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Mm-hmm. Well, you didn't hear the big. See, that's what you should set your alarm for 6.
But,
so you hear my first words on the air. Yeah, I led with that at 6. Yeah, they arrested someone on suspicion of arson for the big fire where the celebrities live. Uh-huh.
Oh, my God.
Sicko.
All right,
well, Louise.
But I still didn't understand. Is this going to be your
here
pattern?
She's back. No patterns. Hey, listen, appreciate the call, Louise. Can any of you remember a single? I don't mind people complaining and griping. I mean, that's okay. I don't mind. But she begins every single call with something negative. Now, a couple days ago, in fact, it was Wednesday's show, Jupiter Joe Thomas was in studio and with his daughter and Jenny, and Joe and his daughter gave me a Christmas gift. They gave me a beautiful MAGA hat, and you can never have enough MAGA hats. And I'm very grateful. They gave me this beautiful "Make America Great Again" hat. And, I wear my MAGA hats so much, they get worn out. So I need new ones from time to time. So Jupiter Joe Thomas and your daughter, Jenny, thank you both for the Christmas gift of the MAGA hat. I was so pleasant. When they left the studio on Wednesday, they left a gift bag. And I didn't look at it until after the show. I was like, oh, wow, cool. A new MAGA hat. I like it. I'm going to actually wear the new MAGA hat on the cruise. I'm going to keep this one because it's like brand new. And it looks brand new too. But, you want to call Joe Thomas. He's a good guy. And you want to talk to him about annuities. And, I asked him on Wednesday, I said, people that retire that are high income earners or upper middle class, working class, all these, do different groups of incomes when they retire, when it comes to annuities, are they looking for something different? He says everyone wants more income. Everyone wants more income. That's right. No matter what you make, how much or how little, most people could always use more money because you live at your means. And, there's all these other things that people put their money in. 401ks, IRAs, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, all kinds of things. And I guess those are good for what they're good for, but they do not guarantee you an income stream for life like annuities do. I'm going to give you Joe Thomas's number. He's offering free phone consultations, which you can take advantage of no matter where you are located in America, all right? And set up that free consultation and talk to him. He'll put together a custom proposal for you. And also talk to him about that bonus that he was talking to me about on Wednesday. Here's his number, 561-743-0999. 561-743-0999. That's 561-743-0999. And if you missed his number, just go to his website, JupiterJoe.com. And at JupiterJoe.com, you will find Joe Thomas's phone number. Give him a call. Set up that free phone consultation. JupiterJoe.com. All right, 1 hour down, 2 to go. Steve Kane will be joining us in progress a little later on the program. It is open phones on Friday. The show prep is up to you guys. We call it Open MAGA Mike Friday. We do that every Friday. Monday through Thursday, we try to herd everybody to talk about the topics Steve and I want to talk about and the stories we want to discuss. But Friday's show is up to you. I got a bunch of things I'm going to cover, but you can talk about any and everything on your mind on Friday's show, which sometimes makes it the most interesting calls of the week. And then other times, that time Augustino was calling in about peas, that was not a highlight. But most of the time it's pretty good. Our number toll-free, 1-888-465-2631, 888-465-2631. It is a toll-free call no matter where you are listening to us. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be back right after this. All right, we're out. Cool. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Oh, man, I'm going to show you guys. I have not announced this on the radio yet, but this just popped up. I saw it for the first time today. I want to get one of these. This is absolutely amazing. Mike Lindell, the cross that Mike Lindell actually wears, he's offering for sale now at MyPillow.com. And it's $40 off with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane. And here it is, the one that you see Mike Lindell wear on everything. And it's free shipping on orders over $75. So you get $40 off the cross plus free shipping. And it's beautiful. There's a version for men and women. That's the one for men. This is the one for women. So go to MyPillow.com and order your My Pillow, My Cross, the same one that Mike Lindell wears. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. All right, stand by. If you're on hold, hang in there. Got a lot to cover today, no doubt about it. And I haven't gotten to any of the sound bites. I'm going to start with the first soundbite I want to play is Governor Newsom lying about being on the phone with Biden to that lady. What a jerk. What a jerk. He comes to the area just for... No, we were not live yesterday, but we're back live today. I was still considering going to California. My flight was... My first original flight was scheduled to leave, I don't know, around 6 o'clock Wednesday afternoon. And but there was a flight at 6 a.m. and another one around 10. And I was yesterday morning, I was going to take one of those. And then finally I got, I talked to my daughter, and she was out of the danger zone, and I decided to come in 2 weeks. So I'm going to go the weekend after the inauguration. I'm going to go to California. That's right, and visit her. But as late as 6 a.m. yesterday, I was packed and ready to go. I'll talk about it when we get on the air, but when you have kids, even when they're grown, you want to parent. And this was the first time there's been like a serious issue, like a disaster, and she's not at home, right? But she knows what to do. She's been through so many hurricanes. She came here and stayed with us during the last hurricane that hit Florida back in, was it October, November? And she's been through so many hurricanes and done hurricane prep with me. She but still, it's tough. All right, we're coming back in 1 minute. If you're on hold, hang in there. I think Louise has a crush on Richie, because not only, I didn't want to get sidetracked into it, but not only does she begin every call with a gripe, it's usually either the same gripe that Richie had, or which she had today, or Richie and I get into it and she's getting Richie's back. I think she's got a crush on Richie, Louise the Mask Lady. He's married to a Venezuelan lady who's way out of Richie's league. Like most of our wives, right? All right, stand by. Welcome back, everyone. You are listening to the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. That's right, celebrating 48 years on the radio. Callers on hold, stand by. If you're just tuning in, they did arrest an arsonist, a suspected arsonist, for setting the fires in that celebrity area that was hit so hard in California. We are back here live today. We were not on the air live yesterday, and as late as about 6 a.m. yesterday, I was still planning on going to California. When your kids grow up, I don't know, it's probably different with sons, but like if you have a daughter like I do, when your kids grow up and they move out, you still want to parent, right? And my generation, they call us helicopter parents, and this was the first time since my daughter moved out 2 years ago, right? Moved out to California 2 years ago. This was the first time since she moved out of the house that there's been like a disaster, like a natural disaster where she's at, and we're not there to help her. So it was stressful. And my original trip, I was going to leave Wednesday afternoon. And after the show, I canceled that flight, but there were two flights yesterday morning, and one around 6, another one around 10, and I was going to grab one of those flights, and I missed the 6. I said, well, I'll go at 10. And then I got word my daughter was cool in a safe location away from things, so I'm going to go to Los Angeles to visit my daughter the weekend after the inauguration. And she's been through, my daughter, since she grew up in Florida, she has been through so many hurricanes with us. And I know hurricanes and fires are different, and the fires are actually more dangerous. But she's been through so many hurricanes with us, and when we have hurricanes, I do hours and hours every day of show prep before I go on the air. I do more hurricane prep than most everyone. In fact, I do more than anybody I personally know, and she's done that with me so many times. When there's a disaster like is going on now, she's like, "Come on, Dad, I've been through all this stuff before," and she's all prepared and set. All right, so it is Open Mega Mike Friday. The show prep is up to you all on Friday's show. You're welcome to call in about any and everything on your mind. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
You know, I'm wondering, what are all the people who are falling for this man-made global warming hoax thinking when it's so damn cold in Florida? You know, I mean, I'm saying maybe we need some more global warming because, man, it's cold.
You know, the
right?
cause of the fire looks like arson, but the disaster afterwards is liberalism.
There you go. No doubt about it, man. This is amazing. You know, the other thing I want to mention is, you know, I learned a long time ago that certain people don't have any respect for their money.
Well, hold on one second. What do you mean by? What do you mean they have no respect for their money? What does that mean? What do you mean no respect?
What that means is I went to a steakhouse the other night, and the least expensive steak was $70. The ribeye I wanted was $95. So I said, "What does it come with?" It comes with a plate. They don't, no, nothing. Not even. I said, $95. You can't even give a potato? No.
A la carte. Yeah, but what did you ask? What kind of meat it was? Was it like some upscale meat? I'm sure it was. You know.
No, it was regular steak. It was good.
You ordered it. You got the $95 steak.
I was with a bunch of people. Everybody ordered, so I couldn't not eat. So otherwise, if I was there by myself, I would have said goodbye and I would have left. But anyhow, it's just amazing that people fall for this and are willing to do this all over the world.
Well, you know, when you go to Wings Plus, like we're going to be on Inauguration Day, and you're all invited. The prices are out of this world affordable at Wings Plus.
Prices are great there, no doubt about it. But some, like I said, some people wreck it. They pay too much for a house. They pay too much for everything, and they're willing to do it, and they don't want to learn. Just like they don't want to learn and vote for Democrats. You know, it's amazing to me that's the kind of people.
But you know,
we have
all
out there.
You know, it's amazing to me. All this talk about these DEI hires that they have, like the assistant chief. Her number one goal was to root out racism on the LA Fire Department. Now, first of all, Los Angeles is like one of the most liberal parts of America. Why would they have any racist in a place that for all of our lives has been ground zero for liberalism and everything woke? Why would there be racist on the LA Fire Department at any point in such a liberal community? Isn't that kind of like a liberal paradise out there, I thought?
That's what I thought too, but you know, they have to come up with something to put somebody in her position, to have that position. So
yeah,
you know, that's what,
you know, like I used to always think, like with when there was all this debate about affirmative action with college admissions, and I never understood that because you know, colleges are all liberal. Don't they just automatically have a lot of diversity because they're so liberal? Are they saying that these liberals are discriminating at the colleges? The liberals on the fire department in Los Angeles are, you know, when the new chief says they're rooting out racism on the LA Fire Department, you know what that means? You know what that means?
No.
Fire all the white straights. Fire all the white straight guys. All right, Doug, take care, man. All right?
Have a good one.
All right, appreciate the call. All right, if you're on hold, stand by. Our number 1-888-465-2630. It is open phones. All right, Open Mega Mike Friday. Got Doug calling in about the price of a steak. And then he ordered it. So he did what? I guess he didn't want the people he went out to dinner with to think that he, you know, couldn't afford it. I don't know. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Angie calling from Colorado.
Hey, Angie.
Hey, it's much colder here than it is in Florida.
49 that's Siberia, man. In Florida, that's
it's like a dry cold. You know, it's like a dry cold. Mm-hmm. But anyway, hey, listen, I got a question. Pam Bondi, the new Attorney General.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Trumper. I volunteered for him. I was here at the Aurora. I was just a few feet away from him, canvassed for him. Anyway, Colorado's very liberal.
Mm-hmm.
However, Pam Bondi has some dirt on her. I don't understand why he picked her. Because
what's her dirt?
Huh?
What dirt?
Okay, about and you know, I'm at the gym actually. I
Well,
don't
whisper
have everything with me, but she does not allow open carry in Florida. It has to do with the gun right.
No,
correct?
I don't know about that. She, what do you mean she doesn't allow it? She holds no office. She hasn't for years. And that's up to the Florida legislature, which she's never been a member of, to my knowledge. I don't think she's ever been in the legislature.
No, what I'm gonna do now that I caught your number because you say it so fast all the time and I couldn't catch it. I'm gonna send you some information on it because there's a case right now with a gentleman that got put in jail because he open carried, and it has to do with her. And like I said,
well, look at it. You know, listen. We unfortunately we don't have open carry in Florida. You know, Ron DeSantis, when he ran the first time, he said, before I leave office, you will have open carry in Florida. And then it came up for a vote in the state legislature, and it was defeated in the state legislature, which is Republican. And we have concealed carry without permits. So we got a step, and I'm a big supporter of open carry because in Florida, and the reason I am is because, you know, in Colorado, it's cold. In Florida, it's hot. And I know this sounds stupid, but it's true. The clothing that we wear in Florida makes it difficult to conceal because it's so hot. You know, we don't wear jackets. We don't wear heavy clothes. We don't wear heavy shirts and stuff. It's hard. It's really difficult to conceal when you're in Hawaiian shirts, t-shirts, shorts, and you know, flip-flops. You know what I mean? And
I know.
yeah.
I used to live in Florida. Yeah.
So what is it? Pam Bondi was representing somebody in that case, or she prosecuted?
No, it has something to do with it. And like I said, how can I get that to you? Because
well, you can get it to me, but I don't see why it would matter. Listen. Open carry is illegal in Florida. So if she prosecuted someone as a prosecutor or the attorney general, that's the law. She's got to prosecute it. She's not a legislator. And if she represented somebody in private practice, just because a lawyer represents someone doesn't mean that they support what they did.
Okay, but here it was the lawyers. Okay, I'm studying the Constitution under Dave Jose. Okay. And Dave Jose is teaching us. He's on X and Jared Jackson. And I'm learning a lot. Here's the thing. What these lawyers do, they're so unconstitutional. The lawyers, just like what Trump has, and we've been writing notices and affidavits. What they're doing is they just want to make the money, keep the well flowing in their behalf. Legislators, a lot of times, there is unconstitutional laws that.
Well, it does. You know, people throw that around, okay, and I get it, but you know, we have laws that are passed, and in the state of Florida, it is illegal to carry a weapon that's not concealed. So, and Pam Bondi has never been in the legislature. She was a prosecutor. She was the attorney general. And she was in private practice. So she's never had any role in legislating open carry. It's got nothing to do with her. If she prosecuted someone, that's her job as a prosecutor or attorney general. So I think you're getting some bad info on Pam Bondi, but send me the article and I'll read it.
Okay, and then I sent you about Dave Jose on X. You must.
All right, I'll check it out. Listen, I gotta run. All right, I appreciate.
Have a pleasant day.
All right, I appreciate the call. Now, I want to invite all of you to come join Steve Kane and me on Inauguration Day at Wings Plus, the Sample Road location in Coral Springs. The inauguration is on Monday the 20th at noon, 10 days from now. All right, a week from Monday. And Steve and I will be there. You're all invited. You know, they have a lot of TVs over there. They usually have sports on them, but they're going to have the inauguration on them at Wings Plus. The inauguration is at 12. Steve and I are going to be there as soon as they open. When we get off the air, we're both going to go to Wings Plus. If you can, try to get there. Please get there by 11. okay, if you can. But if you can't make it till 12, that's okay. But try to get there early if at all possible. The Sample Road location of Wings Plus is about a mile west of University Drive on the south side of Sample Road in Coral Springs. All right? Okay, we'll take our first break of the second hour. Callers on hold, stand by. We'll be back right after this. All right, we are out. Welcome, everyone. If you're new, my name's Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. And we're in a commercial break on the radio right now. Some good calls today. I must say, good call. We've started off with, we're almost halfway through the show already, and the calls have been spectacular. Oh, man. Yeah, I tell you, these are the nicest headphones. I mean, look at these. See, I've got velvet in there. These are the most, I could wear these headphones all day, every day of the week. And it wouldn't bother me. They're so comfortable. But no, every call we've had today has been spectacular. But I don't know about Pam Bondi being against guns. I don't buy that at all. But I'll read what she sends me. Mm-hmm. Okay, we'll be back in 2 minutes. 2 minutes, we'll be back live on the air. My daughter is safe, yes. Thanks for asking. I appreciate it. I'll recap a little bit on the Arsonist when we get back, but if you rewind to the beginning of the stream, you can see me go through the details that we have so far. Okay, 1 minute, and we'll be back. Okay. 30 seconds. Stand by. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. It is Friday. We are back live. We were off yesterday. We are back live on this Friday. Callers on hold, stand by. If you're just tuning in, the LAPD has arrested an arson suspect. That there are witnesses confirming this suspect before they have eyewitnesses of this guy. He's a homeless man. This is the LAPD spokesperson talking last night about the arrest.
What we know right now is that the incident started here, and about 30 minutes later, a suspect was detained over in Woodland Hills area by citizens.
So someone purposely set the Kenneth fire?
At this time, that's what we believe, yes.
Do you know how or why they did that?
That I don't know.
Is this a crime scene right now?
Yes.
So everything's closed off?
It's being investigated.
Okay, now the Kenneth fire, that is where all the celebrities live. So there you go. A homeless guy started the fire, and DEI has kept it going. All right, let's go back to our phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, good morning. This is Richie. Good morning.
Hey, Richie.
How are you this morning? I'm glad you didn't go to L.A. because I was saying to myself, my God, the whole place is full of smoke.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you wouldn't have been able to see anything anyway. You would have been probably confined to the apartment.
Yeah.
Now, here's the deal. First of all, you said they want to call President Trump a felon. Yes, President Trump will be a felon.
They want to call him a convicted felon. They want to be able to say he's a convicted felon.
He will be.
Yes.
He will be. And what people don't realize is the Supreme Court ruled against Trump, against the process, not against the trial. They didn't look at anything in the trial. They were just looking at the process. They want him to go and he's going to get convicted. Then they want him to start his appeals. Eventually, they're going to overturn this whole thing when they start looking in on the case. Because this was a kangaroo court with all sorts of irregularities, and so I could see that happening. I want to talk about this fire that's out in California. The mayor, you say diversity hire? She was elected. The governor, the mayor of L.A.
Yeah.
URL. If you have a problem, contact the URL on the internet.
Yeah.
This is the incompetence of this fool. By the way, Biden, they said, was going to pick her as his new running mate if Kamala wasn't going to be.
You know, the mayor, this idiot mayor in Los Angeles, she's not a DEI hire. She's a DEI official, though. I mean, you know, all we hear about, first black woman. You know, when you see her in that video when she was on her way back from Africa, she's clueless. You know, listen, it's not that we're against having black or gays or lesbians doing things, but you need to have people that are qualified. And, you know, when it comes to mayors, it used to be, back in the olden days, most cities, a mayor would be somebody who was like a local business owner or owned a car dealership or had some experience. And you look at this woman, she came from Congress. All they do is vote yay or nay. They do nothing. And she's really... She doesn't know how incompetent she is because she's never been held accountable. She's just been skipped through because she's a double minority, black and female.
And right, and the fire chief, the lesbian, openly, she's bragging about that. It's the first that she put on her page that she's a lesbian and she's a woman.
Yes,
she's the first this and first that. Well, you know that they doubled her salary. I think I was in the wrong business. I think you're in the wrong business also. Do you know how much they were paying her?
Yeah. Hundreds of thousands.
$750,000.
Yeah.
$750,000 a year, folks.
You know,
for somebody who couldn't get water to the fire.
You know, the thing about but some of the fire hydrants, many of them are painted with the rainbow flag. So, you know, they're spreading you know, what I was talking earlier, my father is a disabled firefighter. He was hurt in a fire pretty bad, so he had to retire from it. But I grew up watching him, and I wanted to be a firefighter. And the reason I did not become a firefighter, I used to watch the training. Once a month, they used to rappel off the water tower. And the water towers are heights. Yeah, and I don't like heights. And I couldn't do it. I could not rappel off of a water tower. I knew as a kid I'd never be able to do that. And I used to watch the training. They had a building that was like a tower, but it was like kind of like a building next to the firehouse. And they would put smoke and they would, you know, train all day and night. Firefighters today nationwide are not the firefighters we had growing up. All I see them doing in my neighborhood firehouses is play basketball and wash the trucks. I don't see them doing the training like my dad was doing in the 70s and 80s. And you get out to some place like California, you know, firefighters have a really good gig. They work 8 days a month on average, 8 days a month, because they do 24-hour shifts. And could you imagine if 9/11 would have happened today? Because I promise you, they got DEI going on in New York now. You know, if you have a DEI fire department and fire chiefs, do you think we would have had firefighters tough enough to go into the buildings that everybody else was running out of? I don't think so.
No. Well, New Yorkers, they still do a lot of that. But let me say this. People keep on saying, well, they didn't clear the forest. It's all true. But the fact of the matter is, when you put people in office like this, Yeah, when you put people in office as the governor and everything else, you have to look at like President Trump looks at every scenario. He's 5 steps ahead of everybody else.
You don't
He
pick
thinks
somebody
the future.
because of the kind of sex they have. It's insane.
No.
All right, appreciate the call, Richie. We got a break for the bottom of the hour. Remember my New Year's resolution, take our breaks on time, and I've been very good about that in the first 10 days of 2025. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. My name's Brian Craig. We'll be back right after this. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. If you're new, make sure that you subscribe. I'm going to freshen up my coffee. Okay, we will be back in under 3 minutes. If you're on hold, stand by. We've had really good calls today, I must say. Okay, 90 seconds, and we'll be back. Call is on hold, stand by. One minute, and we'll be back. 30 seconds. All right, welcome back, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We are back live on this Friday, open phone, open MAGA mic Friday. We were not here yesterday on Thursday. We're back live today. Our number 1-888-465-2631. I must say, we have had incredible calls today so far. We're halfway through the show now, a little more than halfway through the program. And the calls today have been spectacular. Even, this may be a first, even Louise the Mask Lady. Pretty good call. Pretty good call. All right, you're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jeff from Maine.
Hey, Jeff, what's up?
Hey, did you watch any of the funeral yesterday?
I did.
The saddest part of that video was watching Melania having to sit there knowing what those people have been trying to do to her and her family.
Mm-hmm.
She looked very uncomfortable. You know, I felt so bad for her, but Obama had an awful nervous laugh, and I'd love to hear what President Trump was saying to him.
Yeah, I know. Well, you know, for Melania, there was a couple things going on. One, yesterday was the anniversary of either her mother's passing or her mother's funeral. I can't remember which one. So I'm sure that was on her mind.
That would explain. Yeah, that definitely would explain some of it. She looked kind of depressed, not real depressed, but she sees there was something on her mind. That makes sense.
Yeah, and then she's sitting there with the people that broke into her house, arrested her husband, and shot him too. So, you know.
Right. You know, they tried to kill him twice. They ransacked her home for no purpose other than to embarrass them. And, you know, she's been put through. She is so stoic. She is a tough lady.
And she looked great. I love that outfit she wore was amazing. I don't know what was on her collar, but it was really beautiful.
Yeah. Well, she's the most beautiful, articulate, intelligent first lady we ever had.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I'll tell you, you know, she speaks 5 languages. I don't think we've ever had a first lady that speaks 5 languages. You know, I'll tell you though, Biden gets up and Biden did not eulogize President Carter. He was ripping Trump. Biden's whole thing was about integrity. All he talked about was integrity, implying that Trump has none, as his crackhead son is there. I couldn't believe he said literally next to nothing about President Carter. It was all about Trump. Disgusting.
Yeah, and Harris had to sit next to Joe Biden, and they never looked at each other or talked. That goes to show you how much rift is between them, the Bidens and the Harris.
Yeah. Did you see how ticked off Kamala got when she saw Obama and Trump talking? She was ticked off at Obama.
That was priceless. That was worth the ticket of watching the show. She was so uncomfortable being there, you know.
You know, I'll tell you though, again, I don't know. This is just my opinion of watching it. Kamala, when she looked behind her, Kamala, and saw Obama talking to Trump, her level of rage was not normal. To me, it looked like it's been rumored that they've had a fling, you know? And to me, it looked kind of like the reaction you would get from, you know, if there was some type of relationship between the two. Why do you think Michelle wasn't there?
you know, a lot of people speculating, but I don't think she could take being in the presence of Obama.
Michelle?
I'm sorry, Trump.
Of Trump, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think she really hates Trump with a passion.
Yeah. Well, get used to it. He's president again.
Worse than Obama.
Well, he's president again.
Obama's nervous laugh, his nervous laugh was so noticeable. He looked so uncomfortable, and President Trump was looking him dead in the eye, and I just would have loved to have been a fly on the wall to listen to that conversation.
You know, and President Bush wouldn't talk to President Trump, didn't shake hands with him. Pence's wife wouldn't stand for the Trumps.
And
I mean,
I don't remember if it was Bannon or Charlie Kirk or Grant Stinchfield. They said that all the past presidents and vice presidents that were there were in a private room together and probably did all their cordial talking.
No, Trump said that most of them were nice to him. He said most. He didn't say all. All right, hey, Jeff, appreciate the call. Have a great weekend, man. All right, take care. Yeah, Jeff Remains calls are always good. All right, 38 minutes after the hour. Our number 1-888-465-2631. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hello, Greg. Good morning. Yes, my name is Javier. And I just want to say, in Australia...
I got a bad connection with you. We got a bad connection. Your phone is cutting in and out.
Okay, do you hear me better?
I do.
Okay, in Australia's Great Fires back in 2020, when the whole place was set on fire, in the province of Victoria, which is like California when it comes to liberals living there, they had caught 266 arsonists and were all set free. They were all set free.
They set them free. Why did they? Wait a minute. In Australia, they set the arsonists free. Why did they do that?
Supposedly because of lack of proof. They didn't have enough proof, which is BS. You know. O sea, you catch 266 people that are committing arson, and then you come up with this great excuse that you don't have enough proof, so you set them all free.
Yeah.
You know, it's absurd. Well, so that's just my grain of salt for today.
All right. Well, hey, listen, I appreciate the call, man. Take care. Yeah. Well, they're very liberal in Australia. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Jupiter.
Hey, Jupiter. What's up?
Hey, a couple things. With the physicians of Biden, are they going to go on trial? They should really be executed for what they've done.
All right. I know. They should all be. I know. Okay, let's go. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yes, this is Gene from Coral Springs.
All right, Gene. What's up?
That's the Ebonics pronunciation.
Yeah, I've never heard Coral Springs pronounced that way, but okay.
It's Ebonics. Remember that scam? Anyway, they say happiness is watching your neighbor fall off his roof. I really like watching the Democrats lose elections. I mean, to me, that's great. And I got two quick things. Brian. Enjoy your program. Two things I advise in case Trump's listening, and I know you're in with that guy. I think he's great. He should polygraph all these new hires, because you just see these Democrat snakes that they got in there, and they're already leaked Alito's call, so they're just absolutely unbelievable, and they should be polygraphed. And when you go to the CIA or to the FBI, and you tell them they're going to be polygraphed on that 6th floor, 7th floor, they'll all go running back into their rat holes.
But you're going to trust the deep state that's been working against Trump to polygraph these people?
No, I'm saying Pam and Cash should polygraph all those people.
Listen, if you can't track, but you do trust Kash Patel and Pam Bondi. You trust them
to polygraph, yeah.
To do the polygraphs.
Absolutely, yeah. That's what I'm saying. He should do that because he really can't trust these. The White House staff, you can't trust the Joint Chiefs. I mean, there was a guy on there. I would bring Milley back for an Article 30.
Oh yeah, Milley could.
No,
he could be. Milley should be investigated and maybe charged with some crimes for what he did on January 6th.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah, you can unretire him for in an Article 32 hearing.
These generals typically are never fully retired. They always keep them in the reserve. A general, he very well may not be fully disengaged from the service.
I bust him down to corporal. And the one last.
Why not private?
One last. Private would be great. One last thing is, again, I'm a new caller, so I'm a little. I just want to get you off real quick. As a new caller.
Okay. Don't be nervous.
Trump has to declare a national border emergency if he's going to get anything done.
He said yesterday, President Trump said he's going to do that. He's going to declare a state of emergency for several things, including the border. Yeah, absolutely. It is a state of emergency. Our country is being invaded. Yeah. We're under attack.
And one last thing, because you're kind of a wordsmith. DUI, you mentioned, all these people mentioned, well, that's basically quotas. So the Democrats love to change the wording and, make it palatable for the average person.
It's DEI, right? Diversity, I call it didn't earn it, but I think what they call it is diversity, equity, and inclusion. And what didn't earn it's more accurate, but what DEI is, it's affirmative action. And affirmative action is incredibly unpopular, so they rebranded it and call affirmative action DEI now. It's like they used to call global warming, and then the weather wasn't agreeing, so they changed the name to climate change. DEI is just a rebranding of affirmative action. Hey, listen, welcome to the show. Are you a new listener or just a first-time caller?
No, I used to listen years ago when I was down here, and I just moved. I moved back a few years ago. But I listened to you. You're very good. And the last thing I would like to say is Mike Davis. Is he on a milk carton? What's up with that guy?
Yeah, good question.
I love him.
Good. Yeah, you're good. Maybe you should get a show. All right. Well, you're in Coral Springs. Steve and I are going to be in Coral Springs on Inauguration Day at Wings Plus on Sample Road. And if you show up, come and say hi.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, and good luck in California. Hope they doesn't burn you up out there.
Okay. All right. Take care. Yeah, I'm not going until after the inauguration. I'm going the weekend after the inauguration. Now, I want to tell everybody about Dr. Appleton. My wife corrected me. I've been telling you all that Dr. Appleton has rid me of pain 6 times, and my wife said, no, it's 7 times. And because I had a second injury on one of my shoulders. So actually, my wife did the count. We did it. Dr. Appleton has rid me of pain 7 times. 7 times. Both of my shoulders, one of them twice after 2 different injuries. And, it is really amazing. The laser wave pain treatment works on every type of pain I have heard of. Arthritis, bronchial neuralgia, bursitis, hip pain, knee pain, lumbar pain, muscular contraction, sciatica, tinnitus, tennis elbow, neck pain, back pain, hip pain. He's rid me of so many different types of pain. And I know many people in this audience have been rid of pains as well, because every time I go and see Dr. Appleton, I run into so many of our great listeners, and like me, they're praising Dr. Appleton for ridding them of pain too. So give him a call. Remember, appointments are not necessary and walk-ins are welcome, even on Saturdays. Tomorrow is Saturday. You do not need an appointment. I'm going to give you Dr. Appleton's number. He performs all the laser treatments himself. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, I thought I was getting VIP treatment at Dr. Appleton's. He performs all the laser treatments himself. There's no drugs, no shots, no injections, no downtime. It's 100% painless, and it works. It's worked on me 7 times. Here's Dr. Appleton's number. Give him a call and say bye-bye to your pain. 954-973-0710. 954-973-0710. And online, AppletonCairo.com. All right, we're going to take our last break of the second hour. If you're on hold, hang in there. It is Open MAGA Mike Friday. That's what we call open phones on Friday. Any and everything on your mind is fair game on Friday's show. 1-888-465-2631 is the number. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. I'm Brian. We'll be right back. All right, we're clear. If you're on hold, stand by. Just over a minute and we'll be back. The show has flown by today. Great calls. Welcome. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. And if you're already subbed, do me the favor of liking the video, if you don't mind. Okay, 30 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. On the radio since 1977. All right. Back to our phones. I must say, out of our recent Open MAGA Mike Fridays, I think the calls today have been maybe some of the best calls we've gotten on our Open MAGA Mike Friday. Let's go to the phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air.
Oh, hi. I didn't know. Yeah, it's hard
Okay.
to tell. Yeah, what's the deal with Barrett? Why did she betray Trump like that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's two schools of thought on this. The first one is she didn't betray him, which I don't know about that because Roberts voted with the liberals too, that they want the conviction to go through so it can be overturned, okay, and vacated and all that stuff. But then there's another theory that she did betray him. You got to remember, Amy Coney Barrett gave President Trump COVID when he nominated her for the court, right? So some people thought that was an assassination attempt, the first one. So, yeah, there you go. Did I answer your question?
No, and then I wonder why Big Mike didn't show up yesterday.
Well, why do you think? All right, take care. Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, things were going well. Okay, we'll go. Let's try again. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Brian. This is Bill from Sanford.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, I'm happy you're back, and I'm very happy that Emily's okay.
Yes, thank you.
Here's what I hope will happen. I doubt it. I hope Judge Juan Merchan will dismiss the case. It'll be in Trump's favor and possibly his to stay out of jail, because Richie was right about the Supreme Court. They don't want to hear cases until it's closed, and it can't be closed until sentencing. And once it gets up to the Supreme Court, I think it's not going to be 5-4.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be 6-3 at least, because that guy has just absolutely screwed everything.
Well, you know,
So
with
if he
Judge
wants to stay out of
Merchan,
jail-
if Judge Merchan's daughter, if there's financial problems with him, right, like financial crimes through the daughter, if that's true, which we don't know, it's been alleged, he's got to convict him because they took the money, so he has no choice. But the judge did say there'll be no jail time or probation. Already, he's already said that, no jail time or probation.
But he'll end up being a convicted felon.
That's
even
right.
if it gets reversed by the Supreme Court.
Correct.
They'll still refer to him as a... And you know what? You're so right about Trump. The way he handled that yesterday, so cool. Didn't even bother him. Did not bother him one iota.
Yeah.
He is just... He's a changed person this time running around. And so much better.
Well, you know, when they, you know, I'll tell you, I've seen this with others. You know, they shot him, and some of the people at the funeral were probably involved in that, right? And
I'm sure.
Yeah, they shot him, and he survived. And you know, the hand of God came down and put the diagram on the other side, and the normal, and all that stuff. It was a mirror. So a lot of times when people survive and have a near-death experience like that, it changes them. They have this awakening, and that's obviously happened with President Trump.
And he's probably looking at all the Secret Service that were there for all the presidents. He knows there's a number of them that were involved.
Yeah.
You know, trying to figure out, unless he knows for sure, trying to look at.
Well, I'll tell you, I watched most of the funeral yesterday, and what I was watching, because I wanted to see the reaction. President Bush was very disrespectful to President Trump. He wouldn't shake hands with him, didn't talk to him. I didn't see if President Clinton did or not. I don't know.
No, I didn't watch it, but I
well,
saw clips of it,
if the way President Bush, it was like President Bush couldn't face him. Like there was something, you know, it's like he couldn't face him. I wonder why. Yeah. What's he been doing against him?
Yeah. Well, he used to be my hero.
Bush, yeah.
President Bush.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to take it down, the picture of him at 9/11 with
the
Rudy
firefighter
and Badaka, and I still think that's a great moment. So I'm undecided.
You know, I'll tell you, all this talk with Jimmy Carter. You know, we haven't heard from any of the American hostages from Iran. Now, I haven't seen one of them even quoted in the news about President Carter. I was surprised.
Yeah.
I thought for sure we would hear from one of them, wouldn't you? There's a lot of them still alive.
Well, yeah. Well, they owe their life to Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. and Michelle wasn't there. Michelle was had a scheduling problem.
Yeah, Hawaii again.
Hawaii.
Yeah.
Or I heard they're having marital problems. Who knows what's going on? But she wasn't there.
I don't think they're together anymore. I don't think they've been together for a long time.
She's the only first lady that wasn't there.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
All the other first ladies were there.
Mm-hmm.
So.
You know, I'll tell you what it is with Michelle. Okay. I agree they're probably having marital problems, but I don't think Michelle likes to be in the second row, because the first row is the current president and vice president, and then they sit them in the order in which they were president. So she's getting further down. You know, it's like Jeb Bush. Before long, she'll be off the stage. So I think a lot of it may be she doesn't get the billing that she used to get, and she doesn't like it.
Now, somebody said she would be sitting next to President Trump, but I don't know if that's true or not.
I guess she would have been sitting next to Trump. They were sitting boy, girl.
Yeah. So she would have. She probably didn't want to do that. I don't know. Who knows?
But but here you got Obama joking around with Hitler. I mean, if Trump really was Hitler, would Obama be sitting there joking around with him?
Yeah, I can't believe they're laughing. Obama was laughing.
Yeah, I know. All right, good to talk to you. I'm sure it's cold in Sanford. It's like 49 degrees here. It's got to be colder where you are.
Oh, I don't know what it is now, but it's cold.
Oh man, that's not why we live in Florida. All right, take care, man. Good call. All right, let's go. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Irv from Dallas.
Hey, Irv.
Thanks for taking my call. You were having a great conversation about the DEI hires.
Didn't earn it, yes.
And I'm about 50-50 on the DEI because to a certain extent, I do think that the DEI hires have to have the qualifications as far as their education. But as far as experience and being able to do the job, it doesn't like they have the ability to do the job, but they definitely have the qualifications.
If you can't do the job, no, that doesn't make sense. If you can't do the job, you don't have the qualifications. Part of the qualifications is being able to do the job.
True, I get that, but they have the qualifications on paper, and once they put them in position, it looks like they're not.
When somebody graduates law school, they have the education to be a lawyer, but they can't practice until they pass the bar.
They pass the bar. And what I'm saying is the DEI people have passed a lot of that on paper stuff. They just aren't doing very well in the actual position. That's just why I'm kind of
because they're not qualified. They're not qualified. And what DEI is with quotas, right? This didn't earn it thing with quotas. If you fit one of the categories, like if you're gay, you get put to the front of the line to get hired above people that are qualified and have experience if they're white, straight guys. So no, you don't want you don't want some unqualified person coming into your home to rescue you because they're gay or black or Hispanic or a female. You want the most qualified firefighter coming in. And these people are not. Obviously, it's a disaster. They don't have water in the fire hydrants.
So I definitely agree with that. You want the most, you actually want the most overall qualified candidate for the job. But I definitely understand kind of where it came from. It being
listen, I got a break in a moment, but as a black man, you should hate it because anything that you do, people will assume, well, he didn't earn it. He's DEI. You know, it really puts a negative stigma on minorities that's not always deserved. Clarence Thomas talks about this.
I get that, but also we wouldn't have got that foot in the door as well.
What are you talking about?
If it wasn't for these programs,
that's not none of that's true. That's listen. I'm up against the top of the hour break, but that's wrong, and maybe we'll talk about that after. Hey, take care. Welcome to the program. It's the Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Back after this. Calling Steve. Hey, what's up? Yeah, do you have any particular way you wanted to go, or? Okay, now remember, because I'm at my studio, so when you're on hold, you're going to hear music. And when I conference the calls, if I mistakenly hang up on you, I'll call you back during the next break, all right? Because it's only the second time we've done it, so it might be, you know what I mean? No, if I make a mistake and disconnect you, I'll just call you back during the next break. You'll be able to tell. But I'm going to put you on hold. You'll hear music, and then you'll hear me talking when we're on the air. All right, hold on. 1 minute. Oh, no, just 1 minute from now. I looked at the time wrong. If you're on hold, hang in there. If you're new, make sure that you subscribe. $30 seconds. Welcome back, everyone. Hour number 3 has begun. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977, celebrating 48 degrees. It's 48 years on the radio, and it just so happens to be 48 degrees here at the studio. So 48 years and 48 degrees at the studio, and that's where we are. Steve Kane joining us. Hey, Steve. Oh, Steve, you with us? Steve? Oh, Steve, put the phone... Steve, are you with us? All right. Well, I'll put Steve on hold, and we'll go back to Steve in a minute. Every once in a while, we have to prove to you it's live. I'll try one more time. All right, Steve, you with us?
I will find out real quick.
Yeah, you're on.
Good morning.
You are with us now. Okay, so I think we got almost everything done. Okay.
No.
Yeah, all right. Well, a lot's happening today. If you're on hold, hang in there. A lot is happening today. By the way, we're back live today, in case you're wondering. We were not here yesterday live because I was still planning on going to Los Angeles yesterday morning, but I decided not to. So I'm going to go.
Good choice.
Yeah, I'm going to go visit my daughter in LA the weekend after the inauguration. So
Okay, all right. That sounds reasonable.
But, but we are back here live today. It is Open Phones on Friday show, Open MAGA Mike Friday. A couple of stories that we're talking about today, just to do some recapping before we go back to the phones. One,
I have a question.
Yeah.
Because you don't seem to have a specific direction, but I'm just wondering if the people of California are really going to let Newsom get away with all this crap.
Yeah, of course.
Well, then it serves them right.
Exactly. They brought this upon themselves. You know.
They say there's an old saying: people get the government that they deserve.
Yeah.
And if they let this guy get away with it, they deserve everything they get.
You know, they arrested an arsonist last night in Los Angeles for the big fire in the neighborhood where the celebrities live. And they have multiple eyewitnesses that saw him setting the fire. So, so when arsonists started it, but liberalism is what allowed it to spread. Right?
Oh, and it will continue to spread.
Yeah.
Because there are no consequences.
You know, Steve, what they have going on out there, this is what's going on. They're in a crisis right now, so they're griping. But as soon as things cool off, they're not MAGA now. Okay, they're gonna tell you that it's global warming, climate change did this. It has nothing to do with DEI, and they're probably going to give a medal to the fire chief, the lady fire chief.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, and give her a raise, even though she makes $700,000. Why not goose it up to $1 million? And the mayor, she's probably going to be mayor for life now. They'll never, Newsom. See, this is the thing with Newsom. Did you see Newsom yesterday get stopped by a California woman? on the street?
Yes.
Okay. For those that haven't seen it, this lady sees Newsom comes to town for a photo op. The photo op's over. So she runs to, Governor, I got to talk to you. And he says, I'm on the phone with the president. And she says, I don't believe you. Show me. I couldn't believe it. That was great. She must listen to us, Steve. She's got some of our technique. And he says, well, I'm trying to get him on the phone. I don't have cell reception, right? She caught him. She busted him. It was amazing. And Newsom is, blaming everything other than people. If Newsom would have gone...
He knows his constituency. He knows what he can get away with.
That's right. And I was watching a lot of the talk on Fox yesterday, and then, it's over for Newsom. No, this helps him with Democrats running for president. If he would have gone there and done the right thing, which is say, we have incompetent leadership at every level here in Los Angeles. I'm appalled that this is going on in my state. And when this is settled, there's going to be accountability and mass firings. And he came down there ticked off. That would have destroyed his presidential hopes. But as a liberal Democrat going around doing nothing, blaming climate change, and bragging that they saved these guppies helps.
Let me ask you this. What about us? You and I are the ones that are going to pay for it in the long run.
In California? Absolutely. Federal money.
Yes. Exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to end up being paid by the average citizen of the country.
Yeah.
This country.
Yeah.
Not California.
Yeah. I know. And, here in Florida, because we have hurricanes, we have natural disasters all the time in Florida. But we know how to take care of ourselves, and we have officials that know how to take care of us. And we wouldn't if we had a natural disaster, if we had a hurricane hit, and we didn't have water coming out of the fire hydrants, those politicians would be gone. But not in California. It's a resume enhancer. It's
yeah, but the sad news, the thing that you're leaving out, is that before this is over, when the rubber hits the road, as they say in the Goodyear ads, it's going to be our guy that's going to make us party to it.
Yeah,
because it's going to be the national taxpayer.
That's right.
So why don't we tell our president not to get hooked in, that we don't want to be part of the solution.
There's so much. I've been watching a lot of the footage out there, and it just because my daughter's out there, so I'm watching. It's a little selfish, I
feel so bad for you.
Oh, she's doing great. I was yesterday morning. We weren't here live because I was still planning on flying out yesterday morning. I was going to leave Wednesday, and after the show Wednesday, I canceled my reservation, and then I saw this is the. When your kids grow up, man, it's, and they're on the road, you still want to parent. And
well, tell me about it.
And when I woke up yesterday morning, I was going to come on the air live yesterday. We were going to be live. And I woke up yesterday morning and I saw that the fire was spreading towards, they were closing down, I think, Hollywood Boulevard. I'm like, I'm still going. And there was a flight at 6 and another one at 10. And I talked to my daughter. She got out of the way, and she says, Dad, if I got to pick you up at the airport, I got to go towards the fire. I went away from the fire. If you fly in, I got to drive towards the fire to get you. So, right. So I didn't think that was a good idea. And she also, sorry, Steve, hold on. And she also told me this. She says, Dad, we've been through so many hurricanes together. We do all this prep. She says, you raised me right. I can take care of myself. So I'll be going out there the weekend after the inauguration. But here's the thing. This thing with the fire hydrants not having water, okay? There's two things about that. You've heard about the water pressure, right? Because they want to, what do they got? They got goldfish or something that they don't want to?
The smelt, the California smelt.
The smelt. What do you do with the smelt? Do you eat them?
For bait.
Yeah, aren't they bait fish?
Yes.
Yeah, they're the ones like when you go fishing, you toss a net to catch the fish. I mean, those are like
That's the one.
Okay. So, okay, that's nuts. But
these people are not going to get in their face about it. Believe me.
Well, anywhere else.
By the end of today,
Yeah.
It'll all be forgotten.
It will, absolutely. And the thing about the fire hydrants, and I'm sure you've seen this 1,000,001 times, Steve. I have seen throughout my entire life here in Florida, regularly, firefighters, the fire departments maintain the fire hydrants. And I've seen them my whole life do inspections of the fire hydrants. So I see them even on I have fire hydrants on my street, right? Everybody does. And I've seen that they come with the fire truck, they stop and they inspect them and they turn them on and make sure they're flowing. In California, the fire department must not be doing that, or they would have known there was no water pressure. The fire department, listen, this is the arsonist started it, but the liberals in California are responsible. Because the fire hydrants don't work. I mean, what the hell? I've never heard of such a thing, man.
And they've changed the subject on that issue already.
Well, they have a woman in charge of the water management that's in charge of that, and she's another one who makes like $500,000 a year, the one that wants to save the smelt. But, this is not a joke. I mentioned this in the first hour, what I'm about, and I think some people thought I was joking. I am not joking. Steve, I saw, the fire hydrants don't work, right? There's no pressure. I saw on news stories, some of the fire hydrants, they have some of them painted with the gay rainbow flag colors.
Oh, yeah, that's the whole thing with the affirmative, what do they call it? Inclusion?
DEI didn't earn it, the new affirmative action.
What a bunch of...
The fire hydrants don't work, but they're promoting, gaydom. That as long as they're painted the right color, that's all that matters.
Exactly.
with pride. Now, I want to invite all of you to join Steve Kane and me. It's going to be 10 days from now. We're going to be at Wings Plus watching on the Sample Road location in Coral Springs, watching with all of you President Trump's second and final inauguration. And the inauguration is at noon. Steve and I will...
It's Monday, right?
Monday the 20th, 10 days from now, a week from Monday the 20th. And Steve and I are inviting all of you to join us. It's our Bye-Bye Biden Bash Hello Trump inaugural celebration. And Steve and I, when we get off the air on Monday the 20th, both of us from our different locations are going to head straight to Wings Plus. But the inauguration is at 12. If you can't arrive early... but you were all invited. And Wings Plus is located in Coral Springs, about a mile west of University Drive on the south side of Sample Road.
By the way, this is a great opportunity for you to sample the wonderful food we talk about all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Without any question, the greatest wings you will ever eat in your life. And they're going to be available not only on the day of the
inauguration,
where you can meet us at Wings Plus, but also this is football season. This is all the bowl games and the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
A great place to shop for your football party.
Absolutely.
Which you put in your order before the game starts, and you pick it up at halftime. They'll have it all ready for you. No waiting, no fuss, no muss, and the greatest wings and hamburgers and salads that you will ever have. We look forward to seeing you on the 20th, Monday the 20th.
At noon.
At Wings Plus. And do they want to wait till? Yeah, that's
no,
right.
well, we'll probably be there as soon as they open. We'll get there around 11, but the inauguration is at 12.
We're going to be speaking to them today. We'll confirm the time. 100%.
Okay. All right. I'm going to put you on hold, Steve. Callers on hold. Stand by. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. I'm Brian. Steve is here. We'll be right back. All right. We're clear. Okay, 3 minutes. We'll be back live in 3 minutes. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, all right? And if you're already subscribed, please like the video. And if you're on hold, hang in there. Okay. Less than 3 minutes. All right. If you're on hold, hang in there. The phones are very, very busy. Oh, I'm so glad it is the weekend. I will be here on YouTube over the weekend, live streaming. I'll have a podcast later today, too, covering everything that happens with Trump in the courtroom today. Less than 2 minutes, we'll be back. The show has flown by. I'm starting to get used to doing the radio show from this studio, which is good. This is the third time I've done this show from here. The second time with Steve on the line. It saves me 2.5 to 3 hours of driving every day when I do the show from here. Yes, welcome. 1 minute. 'It smelt. If it was like bass or something, but smelt. Thirty seconds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig, joined, of course, by Steve Kane. This is the Steve Kane Show. Steve, I was just thinking, so California's burning because of the bait fish, the smelt?
Yes.
You know what that reminds me? Yeah.
Among other things.
If it was bass or speckled perch or something, at least they'd have a case, but smelt are like the lowest of the low. But you know what?
They'll only smelt.
They're only smelt. But liberals with their animals and stuff and the fish. We used to do years ago. We used to have the animal rights activist on the show. Remember those days, Steve?
Oh yes.
And and usually what we would do, they don't have circuses anymore, right? The liberals got rid of the circuses. But we used to do promotions with the circuses, which I grew up on the circus. I love, I miss the circus. The Shriners,
the animal rights activists that drove them nuts.
Yeah. And we would get the circuses on they like advertise on the radio station, and we'd bring these animal rights activists in, these animal nuts, and they hate the circus. And you asked every single animal rights activist we ever had on the show the same question.
I remember.
And they all gave the same answer, which was insane. Do you want to tell people what this question was?
You can tell them. You're doing good.
Okay, Steve we would have these animal rights activists on, and and you would ask them the same question every time. And they were always surprised because once we had an animal rights activist on, because of this question, they would never come back. So it was always a new one.
Jimmy Carter.
Exactly, it was always a new one. You would ask them this. We don't usually ask hypotheticals, but it was a hypothetical. You would ask the animal rights activist this question: if you were driving your car down the highway, and in front of you was a newborn little baby crawling on the road on one side, the other side had a turtle, and you could swerve the car and avoid killing one, either the newborn little baby or the turtle, which would you swerve to save the life of? And
that's a very good description, except for
what did I leave out?
One thing to it. No, the one little line I'd say, a newborn baby, just like the type that you're in favor of doing in the debate on abortion.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So each and every animal rights activist said they would swerve to save the life of the turtle. They would always run the baby over.
The baby.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then with the yeah, exactly. And then every single time, and I remember the first time you asked that when I was first started working with you, I thought that question was like beneath you, because who would say the turtle? That's a crazy question, right? Who would say the turtle over a baby? But every single
the good old days.
Every single animal rights activist said they would run the baby over and kill the baby and not the turtle. And Steve, new listeners think I'm joking, but that's the God honest truth, right? Every time.
The old timers will remember that.
Yeah, and you would do some follow-ups, and they gave the same answer to the follow-up. Well, turtles are endangered, and there's too many people.
That's exactly that was their logic.
Yeah.
We have plenty of babies. We need more turtles.
Exactly. I am not kidding you, guys. And I don't know how many times I saw you do that, and it's insane. And but so
it was very frustrating because I used to, for some reason, female animal rights activists
good looking
were usually hot.
Yeah, they're good looking.
They were good looking ladies that ran around in those T-shirts that they're giving away on television all the time.
Yeah,
about saving the owls and stuff like that.
Spotted owl.
And in those days, I was not the faithful married man that I am today, so I always had an eye out, and that issue always created problems for me.
Oh, that's why we did those shows.
I was pro-life.
Yeah. All right. Now, if you're on hold, hang in there. Now, Steve, I'm going to try to take some calls. Now, this is only the second time we've used this phone system, so if I disconnect you, I'll call you back at the bottom of the hour.
And also make sure that I'm on mic here.
You're on unless I tell you not to. You're fine.
Yeah, just make sure that it's do a mic check.
You're doing cool. You're doing fine, man.
Okay.
You sound better than ever. Now, if you're on hold, hang in there. We will take a call or two. But like I said, this is only the second time we've used this phone system, so I might mess it up. But if I do, we'll get you with somebody else. Okay. All right. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Dean from Martin County.
Hey, Dean from MAGA, Martin County. What's on your mind?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I've lived about half of my life in California. I grew up in the 70s out there and 80s a little bit. But, yeah, my dad was in construction out there. Boy, they run that state. So, they get what they vote for. But I can tell you this, they'll probably vote again. Newsom would probably get voted back in. I should correct myself. Newsom would probably get voted back in because they'll blame it on climate change.
Mm-hmm.
And Bass will probably get voted back in because, she did everything she could. She was just trying to cut the budgets to help everybody and give, money to illegals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, you're right. There's no doubt about it. What this disaster is a resume enhancer for all of them, including Newsom's dream of running for president as a Democrat.
Oh, yeah. That's shot. It's over. That's so awesome, though. Yeah, my
you
buddy
think he knows that? You think he knows it's over?
Newsom? No way.
Yeah.
I think he does.
Really?
You gotta know it.
I think he's insane. He looks insane to me.
Yeah. My buddy lives out there near Malibu. and he was heartbroken. Moon Shadows has been open since 1966. It's a local surf place, and
well, listen,
it's gone.
You know, a lot of these people in Hollywood, they haven't just lost their Hollywood home; they just lost their Maui home not long ago.
Oh, right.
You know, yeah. I mean, and
What I'm
they'll
hoping for is Trump cuts all their federal funding because they're a sanctuary city and state. I just hope he comes in and says, you know what, that money that Biden gave you, I'm taking that back because you guys are.
I don't know.
You know-
I don't know that Trump will do that.
You know, they nor should he after what happened in the Carolinas with FEMA after the hurricane. Nor should he. You know, the thing about they arrested an arsonist who's a homeless guy, but I haven't seen anything on whether or not he's illegal. I guess if he was illegal, he'd have a house. He wouldn't be homeless. He's got to be an American if he's homeless.
Right. Do you think that he shouldn't cut federal funding?
Oh no, we're talking about FEMA relief, like help after the fire. We don't want to cut.
No, he can't cut FEMA, but you can cut federal funding for other programs.
If he does that after this disaster, they'll say it's the same thing. I don't know.
I don't think he's in it. I think they got him cornered on this one.
Yeah.
I don't think he can afford, in his political situation, I don't think he can afford to do the right thing.
You know, yeah, but Trump doesn't need to be political anymore. He's on his last term, so he can do anything he wants.
Well, yeah, but he's going to great lengths and great pains.
He doesn't ever
to cultivate
getting any votes out of California anyway. So that's
yeah. Well, listen, we got to run for the bottom of the hour break, but welcome from Martin County. Great call. Appreciate it.
All right,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you.
All right, Steve. I'm gonna put you on hold, Steve. And if you're on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show. Steve Kane is here. Great calls today. We'll be right back. Yeah, great calls today. I must say, very good calls today. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, all right? Be right back, guys. We'll be back in 3 minutes. Yeah, Joe Thomas gave me this really nice new MAGA hat. See this one? Joe Thomas gave this to me the other day. It's Trump on the back. It's a nice one. If you're new, make sure that you subscribe. We're going to be back in about 2.5 minutes. We'll get back to the phones. Now, who's mad on a Friday? Great calls today. This is one of the best open phone Fridays we've had, call quality-wise. Every call today has been very good, except one, but... The show has flown by. There's only one opening on the board. And I know you guys can hear Steve much better with this setup. 1 minute. Fifteen seconds. Welcome back. I'm Brian Craig, and of course, Steve Kane is here. You're listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. Celebrating 48 years on the radio, which happens to be the same temperature outside of the studio. All right, you back with us, Steve? No, let's try it again. I know you're there, Steve. Hold on. All right, let's try it again. All right, Steve, you back with us? All right, I'm going to put Steve on hold. We'll check back with Steve. There's only one opening on the board. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Sam, calling from Detroit.
Hey, Sam.
Hey. So, I just want to, I've heard you talk about you've been having some great calls here this morning, so I want to make sure that...
we've been having some great calls. Go ahead.
For you guys, but I probably have an opposing point.
That's okay. We like opposing viewpoints. What's your opposing viewpoint?
Well, I just think when we're talking about, first off, the smelt thing, I like to research things myself. So the smelt thing is happening in the Sacramento Valley, I believe. And the Sacramento is a bay, I guess, in Sacramento where the smelt breed. That doesn't have anything to do with the water supply in L.A.
Okay, so then why is there no pressure in the fire hydrants, and who's responsible for that? What caused it, and why was the fire department not on top of this? Since you've researched it,
about wildfire. Go ahead.
Since you've researched it, you must have some excuse for these Democrats as to why the fire hydrants have no water.
So, if you are in an area that doesn't deal with wildfires all the time, L.A. County is not a place where wildfires normally hit. So, mostly you have it in the forest parts, but this happened to happen in the hills of Hollywood, basically. So, everybody that I've seen on TV that was around their house was using water at the same time, water hoses. Everybody's using their water trying to preserve their house.
Oh, yeah.
As well as the fire department.
Yeah, where'd you get that from? MSNBC? Slow down. Excuse me.
No,
the reason that is nonsense. The reason in that instance, that would mean that you wouldn't be able to flush your toilet. Okay, I haven't, or take a shower. No. Not every house on the street is necessarily. The reason people are using their garden hoses is because the fire department has not responded and the fire hydrants aren't working. That's a liberal talking point. Come on.
No, I'm not making a liberal.
Give me a break. You mean to tell me,
Okay.
whenever there's been another fire, a massive fire in an American city, when did the fire hydrants not work like this? Hello? All right, I guess he doesn't have an example. All right, if you're on hold, hang in there. All right, I'm going to try Steve again. All right, Steve. Oh, no, hold on a second. Hold on. All right, hold on. Let me get Steve back on the line. All right, Steve, you back with us? No, I keep losing Steve, but that's okay. We'll keep going back to our busy phones. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Well, my name is Sam. I was the guy.
Oh, okay, Sam. I did not mean to hang up on you. I lost the connection.
That's okay.
So my question to you was, what other city do you know of that had fires where the fire hydrants did not work?
So if you're asking me to give an example, it's going to be probably hard for me to give an example. And the reason why I don't want you to think it's because I'm defending liberals or anything like that, because as far as I know, fires aren't woke, liberal, or democratic. They're just fires. So if everybody in a municipality is all using like the most water they've used in their house at the same time, you can have pumps there. I live in Metro Detroit.
So before people before people started using their garden hoses because the fire department failed them, okay, why was the fire hydrants not working then?
That's not when the fire hydrant stopped working.
Yes, it is.
Remember, if you're talking,
yes, it is.
Who uses the fire hydrant? The fire department. So if the fire hydrants
were working, right, they would have been working in the very beginning before people used their garden hoses, and they weren't working from the first instance of the first fire.
That's not true.
It is true.
The fire hydrants were working. It's not. If you don't want to believe it's true, that's fine. But
I know it's not. I've been following this. I've been watching the. Excuse me. I have been watching the local news in Los Angeles since this began because my daughter lives in L.A. and I've been watching the local news. The local news reported from the moments of the first fire that there was not enough pressure for the hydrants before people took to their garden hoses when they had no other option. But you can continue to lie to yourself.
No, I'm not going to lie to anybody. I'm telling the truth.
No, you're not. What you are doing is regurgitating liberal talking points.
Okay. You have this boogeyman complex. All of y'all do. With liberal everything.
Who are y'all? Who are y'all? When you say all y'all, who? Who's y'all?
I'm sure there's a guy that's right now listening to this that you had on your show too. That was.
You said y'all. Who's y'all? You all do this. Who's y'all? Who are you talking about?
The one who do that. The one who would say it.
Who would that be?
Everybody who's blaming the fire or the responsible fire on woke liberal Democrats. All y'all. That's what I'm saying.
All y'all.
Y'all.
Listen. This is the first instance that I know of in the history of the United States where the fire hydrants didn't work when there was a fire.
That's
first
not
time.
True.
Where else? Then tell me where else. Tell me where else this has happened.
Other times in California, where else do we have wildfires at?
There's here in Florida. Right? We have excuse me. We have wildfires. We have wildfires regularly in Florida, in the Florida Everglades.
Yeah, but y'all don't have you don't have the mass fires like they have in.
No, we do. The Everglades are on fire all the time. No, we have mass fires.
You don't have the mass fires not like
yes,
what
we
they
do.
have in California.
Sure.
Not the hundreds or millions of thousands,
but
millions of acres.
But what we have that you don't is competent people.
Wet state. You also have a wet state that gets plenty of rain, right? That's the one thing in Florida.
No, when we have fires, we have fires, the reason we have big mass fires in Florida is when we have droughts. We have fires during droughts.
Okay. Now you're talking about a state of California that pretty much is in a drought, 3/4 of the year, right?
Listen,
That's not the case
I'm
in
not
most
going to
of the
get.
country,
Listen,
right?
I understand that you're not going to criticize
Well, you brought up
Democrats.
Florida.
I
You
understand.
brought up Florida.
I
It's
understand
not
you're
about
not going to
Democrats.
criticize
It doesn't matter
Democrats.
who was in office. It doesn't matter who was in office. I know that boogeyman is going to get blamed for it.
Well,
What
no,
I'm
the
trying to
people.
say is,
Listen, when
that's
there's a
not-
natural disaster, you look towards your government to take care of it, and when they fail, they are responsible.
Absolutely, you're correct. But that's not what you are saying.
That
You
is
are
what we're
blaming
saying.
it on a side. You're blaming it on a side.
Yeah,
So you're
because
saying that there's
because everyone that runs California right now, the fire department, the water management, everything is run by people that are diversity hires, not the most qualified for the jobs. Hey, listen, I appreciate
That's another boogeyman.
it's true.
That's another boogeyman.
It's
DEI,
true. It's true.
Right?
It's true.
Boogeyman.
All right. Hey, listen,
Yeah, it's a boogeyman.
I appreciate the call though, all right? And we always welcome diversity of opinion. All right, take care. All right. I'll try to go to Steve again. Steve, you back with us? All right, I'm going to keep putting Steve on hold. I'll check with him during the break. You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from? You're on the air. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Frank from Boca.
Hey, Frank.
Brian, Democrats indoctrinate black people that whites created slavery, but the Democrat Party is the party of slavery. And not long ago, government officials from Benin and West Africa apologized for their country's role for selling millions of fellow Africans to white slave traders. And the president of Benin and another African country addressed the black organization.
Well, okay.
I think it was in.
Is there any relevance to what's going on in the news today to the slave trade, or is this just an open phone day kind of conversation?
Yeah, open phone. I wanted to respond to Jay, who accused white people of enslaving blacks.
Okay.
But these two.
Well, listen, I'm
these
gonna
two
let you
prime-
go. That's true. Everything you said is true. All right, we're gonna take our last break. If you're on hold, stand by. Our phones are very busy. I'm going to try to get a hold of Steve Kane during the break, and we also have the final gold report of the week as well. I'm Brian Craig. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. We'll be right back. Steve, you there? Yeah, it's Brian. I've gone to you like 3 or 4 times. It's just been silence. All right, I'm gonna put you on. You'll hear music when you're on hold, but I'm gonna put you on. I'll put you on hold and go to you after the gold report. Okay. All right. Hold on. Hey, it's Brian. Hey there, I'm going to put, just calling you for the gold report. I'm going to put you on hold. You're going to hear music on hold, but when I pick you up, you'll be on the air. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, we were going to take off, but we decided to come in. I apologize. You want me to do it, or are you okay? Okay, that's fine. Hold on. All right. Stand by. 30 seconds. Welcome back. I'm Brian. You're listening to the Steve Kane Show. It's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated with the final Gold and Precious Metals report of the week. William Youngerman, how the metals ending the week? Oh, hold on. We'll try it again. My fault, guys. My fault. Hold on a second here. All right. William Youngerman, how are the metals ending up the week? All right. I'll try it again for the fourth time, guys. I've tried it like so many. All right. William Youngerman, are you with us? I'm not sure why I'm not getting anybody today. Oh, my goodness. Let me try it one more time. Let's see here. Do that. And, oh, boy. All right. If you're on hold, guys, bear with me. All right. I will get to the calls in just a moment. All right, let's see here. Steve, are you with us?
No.
Yes, you are. I got you. Everything was going good until just a minute ago, but I lost William, so what I'm gonna do is try to get William Youngerman back, and we'll take if Mike, if you're up at the radio station, we're gonna take a quick break, and then I'm gonna get William Youngerman back. I'm gonna put you on hold, Steve. Then I'm gonna go and grab William Youngerman, and then we'll get back with everything. So we'll take a quick break and be right back. All right, William, are you there? All right, hello, are you there? Hey, JJ. All right, are you there? All right, stand by. Okay, are you with us? Hold on. All right, are you with us? Okay, JJ. Okay, are you, William? All right, I'm going to go to you in just a second. All right, and we are back on the line. We have William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated. I apologize, William. I had a little technical snafu, but how are the metals ending up the week?
Metals looking good. Yesterday we saw a gain of $7.70, closing out the day at $2,670.80 the ounce. Silver gained 5 cents at $30.09. Platinum was up $1 at $9.57, and palladium remained unchanged at $914. This morning, the rally continues with gold trading in a range of $2,660 all the way up to $2,688 this morning. And then the jobs report came out stronger than expected, and the market sold off, but now is coming back again. And so now gold is up $5.30 at $2,676.10.
Wow.
Silver's up 17 cents at $30.25 the ounce. Platinum down $6 at $9.51, and palladium up $19 at $9.33. So gold's doing good, building building blocks of strength all the way up to getting closer to that $2,700 number again.
Yeah, absolutely. Great news. You know, when we were talking on Wednesday, you were talking about these great prices you're seeing on the pre-33 gold. You said the lowest you've seen on pre-33 gold in your 60-year experience in the metals. And I was talking to an unnamed friend of mine. I don't want, because, you know, they want to keep it secret. But I was talking to a friend of mine, and they said that they have a lot of silver that they were thinking about turning into gold. And is that something that you recommend and that you could help people with if they have silver and they want to, you know, make some space in the safe or the safe deposit box and turn it into gold?
Yes, indeed. We see that almost every day happening in our offices, and it's very easy to do without even any tax ramifications. So you can trade your silver for gold, and it can work very good.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, William Youngman opens up at 10 a.m. His number is 1-800-327-5010, 1-800-327-5010, or stop in at 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca on the first floor of the Bank of America building, just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto. And you can find both the phone number and address online at williamyoungerman.com. That's williamyoungerman.com. All right, William Youngerman, great news today, and we'll talk on Monday.
Okay, have a great weekend.
All right, you too. We are back, and I know I've got Steve back now. Apologize for that, everyone. My fault. Steve, you back with us?
I don't know.
Yes, you are. Yes. The answer is yes. If you can hear me, I apologize.
Exciting.
You know, I'll tell you guys what happened is I just lost track of who was on what line, which I normally keep track of. All right, we are, by the way, I want to tell you something, and this is an important thing. We had a technical snafu for the last 5 or 10 minutes. It was entirely my fault because we got a lot of calls coming in. I usually keep very good track of who's on what line, and I lost track. And the reason I'm sharing that with you is that that's something that does not exist in California. It's called personal responsibility. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? If you take personal, I know you liberals may not be familiar with the meaning of that term.
I'm very proud of you, Brian.
But wouldn't you like to see some personal responsibility
it would be nice.
in California? I know
the Smelts would be pleased.
The Smelts. Are Smelts too small to eat? Or are they like sardines? What I don't even.
They're like sardines, but I don't know that you'd want to eat them.
They're like guppies, right? Aren't they like guppies?
No, they're like Smelts.
Oh, they're like Smelt. No, but seriousness though.
I don't think they're for human. They're not for human consumption.
Yeah,
to the best of my knowledge.
Seriously speaking, though, about the personal responsibility, if a normal person, like I give you an example, if what happened in Los Angeles happened in Miami, and Governor DeSantis came to town, he would be fuming. He would.
Well, it wouldn't have happened with Governor DeSantis, first of all.
But if
he
it
would have never
put
us in that position.
Well, what I mean is, if we had a fire department that didn't know their fire hydrants weren't working, DeSantis would come here and they'd be fired. He'd remove them from office. If you remember, after the Parkland shooting, it had come to light that the sheriff's office had they were called to the shooter's house like a dozen times, right? And they didn't make any police reports because they didn't want to have any crime stats for the city. Remember all that? And what did DeSantis, which led to, if any of those things were handled properly, the Parkland shooter would not have been able to legally obtain weapons, or they may have even been able to confiscate the ones he already had. So what DeSantis did was remove the sheriff from office, which was very controversial. Boom. Did it. Just remove the sheriff from office. And he's removed other public officials because you've got to have accountability with people in office. You know, there's to me, if I lived in Los Angeles like my daughter does, it's when your house is on fire, you expect to be able to call the fire department and them to be able to put it out instead of you sitting out there with your garden hose. Right?
Especially with the taxes they pay in California.
Yeah.
to their fire departments.
Oh, and by the way, you've still got to pay your taxes on your burned down property, even though the house isn't there. You still owe California money. You still owe L.A. County money. You think you get out of the property taxes, Steve, because they let your house burn down? Hell no.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to watch, see how much the citizens will sit still. There's still a chance maybe they'll wake up. We won't know till it's over.
No. There's not going to be a massive red pilling. You know, like James Woods has been on TV, but he's MAGA. You know,
Yes.
And do you know what happened to James Woods on 9/11? Do you remember this?
Refresh.
This is James Woods. He was on a plane with Muhammad Atta, the 9/11 ringleader. And this was before 9/11. He told this story on Bill O'Reilly on Fox. I couldn't believe it. Bill O'Reilly was shocked. He was on a plane, and when he was flying to L.A., and when the plane landed, he called the FBI. They came to his house. He said nobody knew who Muhammad Atta was at the time, but after 9/11, James Woods knew. He said he could tell these Muslim guys were on the plane, and he said they were rehearsing a hijacking. And he saw them redoing it. So when the plane landed, James Woods called the FBI, and they came and interviewed him and did what? Nothing. And they had the passenger list. You know? And I know James Woods was on television. He lost his house, and he was in tears about it, which I understand. But, you know, that tells you how government operates. If when James Woods reported those 9/11 hijackers, this was before 9/11, obviously. If they would have arrested the guys, the Muslim guys that were on the passenger manifest, 9/11 may not have happened. You know, and
slow them down at least.
Yeah. Well, Muhammad Atta was one of them. So Muhammad Atta would have been arrested, and without Muhammad Atta, nothing may have happened.
Well, that's the point.
Yeah. So at least not on that day. They would have had to regroup. You know. So James Woods. He who does that? Calls the FBI and he said I saw him tell the story. He said you could tell that they were rehearsing. And after 9/11, he knew who it was. It's like me. I met Nicholas Cruz, but I didn't know it was him until after the shooting. Then I remember, that crazy guy was Nicholas Cruz. And that's that. Well, listen, today's show has flown by.
Yes.
I mean, and out of the all of the open phone Fridays we've had, this has been one of the best so far as the quality of the calls. Not only has the show flown by, but those of you that have called in today have been some of the most spectacular calls we've ever gotten on an open phone Friday, on Open MAGA Mike Friday.
Do you want to do a final before you close that? Do a final thing about?
That's what I was transitioning into. We only have a short time left, but on Monday the 20th, which is a week from Monday, on Inauguration Day, come join Steve Kane and me, Brian Craig, at Wings Plus, the Sample Road location in Coral Springs, and watch President Trump's inauguration with us. Wings Plus is about a mile west of University on the south side of Sample Road. The inauguration is at noon. We will see you there. All right, guys, thanks so much. It's the Steve Kane Show. Steve has been here. I'm Brian Craig. This is Florida's longest running radio show. We'll see you Monday morning at 6 a.m. All right, and we are out. All right, all of you guys, thanks for watching. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. All right, take care. Well, guys, hey, listen, thanks so much. I do appreciate you guys watching. If you're new, subscribe. If you already subscribed, please like the video. Kathy and I will have a new podcast today. I didn't get to any of my show prep because the calls were so good on the program today. So that was unbelievable. So the show prep that I didn't get to, I'll share with Kathy on today's podcast, but I'm going to wait because in half an hour, President Trump's sentencing is going to happen. So we got to wait for that to be over and see how that plays out. And then we'll podcast. And I'll be around on YouTube, and I'll do at least one live stream taking live calls this weekend. Maybe two, but at least one, because of everything that's going on with President Trump. I would like to do one where I have Kathy on the phone taking live calls with me. And we did that once a couple weeks ago, and it went pretty well. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for watching. Again, my name is Brian. This is where MAGA comes to talk. If you're new, subscribe. And everyone who's already subscribed, whoops, just dropped my phone, but it didn't break. Everyone who's already subscribed,